as a consequence of Putin's price hike because of the impact on oil prices.
He's urging Congress to pass his budget and to work out differences on the Bipartisan Innovation Act aimed at boosting research and development as he visits students studying robotics and cybersecurity at a state university in Greensboro, North Carolina. Republicans say inflation predates the war in Ukraine, blaming the president's policies. Just over a week after becoming Twitter's largest shareholder, Tesla CEO Elon Musk is offering to buy the company outright, a $43 billion all-cash offer that he says is rooted in his concerns about free speech.
We want to be just very reluctant to delete things and have just be very cautious with permanent bans. Timeouts, I think, are better.
Musk says the social media platform needs to be transformed as a private company. Also telling the annual TED Talk conference he does have a plan B if they reject his offer. Twitter has called an all-hands meeting for employees. Musk is already facing a lawsuit over his recent purchase of Twitter shares, accusing him of illegally delaying disclosure of his stake to buy more shares at lower prices. The man accused of a mass shooting at a New York City subway station is ordered held without bail. 62-year-old Frank James making his first court appearance today. He's facing a federal terrorism charge for attacking mass transit. America is listening to Fox News.
Back at it again with the Lenten season menu with Mezcla, giving you a variety of food you can enjoy and pick from, like the fish tacos, spicy buttered shrimp, parrotfish escabeche, lobster pad capral pasta, crab-crusted Chilean sea bass, and more. There you have options. Offered at Hagåtña location for lunch and dinner only at Mezcla. For reservations, call 671-479-2652. What are you waiting for? Let's go celebrate the Lenten season with Mezcla.
Hafide, this is Severina. Here at APL, our expertise and extensive network can help you grow your business and reach out to more global markets. As a responsible carrier, APL is also committed to a sustainable future, whether it's protecting the environment or investing our efforts in giving back to the community. Our dedicated teams in Guam, Saipan, and on U.S. mainland are here to support you. Call 588-4651 or visit www.apl.com.
The Texas governor is not backing down on his decision to require extra screenings of commercial trucks crossing the southern border, which has led to long lines at some crossings, with the White House warning shortages on store shelves could follow. But the governor is winning help from Mexico.
We can tell you that commercial traffic is flowing more smoothly today into Texas from Nuevo Leon, one of the 6 Mexican states sharing a border with Texas. The governor there has signed an agreement with the Lone Star State saying they will beef up security on their side of the river, among other things. In exchange, Governor Abbott agreed to drop those secondary DPS commercial truck screenings for imports coming in through Laredo, but they will remain at the other international crossings until those Mexican governors sign similar agreements.
Fox's Casey Stiegel in Eagle Pass, Texas. The president's so-called cost of carbon plan to account for potential emissions damage when creating rules for pollution-generating industries is allowed to stand. A federal appeals court today refusing to revisit its decision to revive that policy proposal. Peloton trying to bounce back as the pandemic wanes, but that's not stopping the company from charging subscribers more.
The fitness equipment maker is increasing the price of its all-access membership across North America, while at the same time lowering equipment costs. Peloton said the price increases are the first in 8 years, during which its catalog of content has significantly grown. Beginning in June, the price of the monthly membership fee will increase to $44 from $39 for all U.S. customers. Pricing for international members except Canada will remain unchanged, and the cost of a digital-only membership for people who don't own any of Peloton's equipment will still be at $12.99 a month.
Fox's Hillary Barsky. Stocks finish lower. The Dow down 113 at the close. The NASDAQ more than 200. And Lisa Brady, Fox News.
This is the sound of connecting with nature, connecting to each other, and the sound of connecting with your finances. With First Hawaiian Bank's new mobile app, you have the power to connect with your finances like never before. With real-time tracking on your financial goals and tailored updates on your accounts, First Hawaiian Bank is putting the power of connection at your fingertips. First Hawaiian Bank, Equal housing lender, member FDIC.
On March 4th, Guam Homeland Security sent an advisory warning about Russian cyber attacks and recommended Guam organizations strengthen their cybersecurity postures. You might think your small business isn't at risk, but as businesses use more cloud and web-based tools, they're exposed to cyber attacks designed to snare victims of any size. Keep your organization protected with GTA's multi-threat security bundle. Visit gta.net or call 671-644-1000 for a free consultation today.
Half a day. Patsy Gogri from Security Title here with information about what a title company does. The title side of our business determines who owns a property and guarantees your ownership with a title insurance policy. The escrow side acts as an independent third party, managing the transfer of money and documents between the buyer, seller, lenders, and others. Security Title has a management of real estate closings down to a science. Give us a call. We are here to help.
Half a day at 6:06. I'm Mana Silva Tyron with a look at your local news on the point. After an entire day of question and answers, the legislative resolution intended to end the public health emergency has failed. Resolution 291 shot down by your elected senators. Lawmakers spent hours discussing the health emergency and the ramifications should it be terminated. On the floor, there were some attempts made to modify when the emergency would end instead of immediately, but those amendments failed. Telo Taitagui introduced the amendment to end the emergency on June 2nd, should there be an emergency at that time, but that effort led to a heated argument from Senator Clint Ridgell, who then questioned what then is the emergency here. Ridgell objected to that amendment. He also made a motion to adjourn. In either case, both motions failed and the resolution was put up for a vote, and that failed as well. The administration had been opposed to canceling the public health emergency, arguing all the time that it would jeopardize millions of dollars in federal pandemic aid. And after 2 weeks in deliberations, jurors in the Rudy Kanata trial came back with a guilty verdict. Kanata guilty of murder in the brutal killing of former Umatic Mayor Daniel Sanchez last April. The jury, however, was unable to reach a decision on the charge of aggravated assault and the special allegation of possession and use of a deadly weapon in the commission of a felony. The prosecutor, Lenny Rapata, said that he intends to pursue those charges against Kanata at another trial. Kanata's girlfriend, Joyner Sked, was also found guilty for her part in the killing. Both of them scheduled to be sentenced at a later date. We'll have more news right after this.
For the freshest deal around, check out the Make Your Own Salad Special at Ruby Tuesday Guam. From now until April 15th, you can serve yourself at their Fresh Garden Bar for just $8.99. And you can build up your plate with an add-on of grilled chicken breast or grilled salmon fillet for just $3.99 more. It's a fresh deal at Ruby Tuesday Guam.
The result of an FBI test on DNA evidence has led investigators to a suspect who now stands accused in the rape case involving a 13-year-old girl in Dededo nearly 2.5 years ago. A story in the Guam Daily Post says that 40-year-old Jesse James was charged with numerous counts of criminal sexual conduct, kidnapping, and terrorizing. He's being held on $100,000 cash bail at DOC after he was arrested on Wednesday afternoon. It was back in 2019 that Guam police said that the teenage victim was walking home from Papa's store on San Antonio Avenue in Dededo when she was grabbed by the suspect and raped in a nearby jungle. Investigators said that the girl was subsequently able to break free and ran home to get help. Meanwhile, police have confirmed the 81-year-old woman who went missing in Maritzo on Tuesday has been found and is at home safe this morning. A member of the community called 911 yesterday after finding Carmen Tekenko Asanoma at 551. Asanoma was reported missing after she left her home on Kineni Road on Tuesday. Again, she is safe at home this morning after she was discovered late yesterday. And those are your top stories here on The Point. Here's Ray with your weather.
It's Posh Spice's birthday this weekend.
Really?
Yeah. Posh Spice is 48 years old.
Oh, wow, that's Old Spice.
Thank you. I knew one of us was going to get there. I just didn't know who. All right, fine. We'll begin with the weather. Here we go. Good Friday weather today. Mostly cloudy, highs near 86 degrees, southeast winds 11 to 16 miles an hour. Gusting as high as 21 miles an hour. Tonight, mostly cloudy. Overnight lows about 77 degrees. South-southwest winds 5 to 10 miles an hour. That may actually help you. For those of you that are out there, trying to get back to your cardio and going and running, what that means is the wind is going to be coming at you at the side in a lot of the roads that you're going on these days, and that is a welcome respite. It's either that or it means it's going to slow you down in all directions, no matter which way you run. The only way to find out is to actually go out there, lace up your shoes, and do it. Mostly cloudy in the forecast. What? Wait. Hold on, Real Joe. You tell me Easter Saturday is going to be mostly cloudy. How am I supposed to get grill marks there?
I report, you decide.
Daytime highs maybe 87 degrees. Southwest winds again 5 to 9 miles an hour. Mostly cloudy in the forecast for Saturday night. Finally on Sunday, Easter Sunday, the weather folks are calling for mostly sunny skies. Daytime highs near 88 degrees. That's nice. 30% chance of rain over the next couple of days. Rip currents and hazardous surf in effect right now. I'll get you some new numbers from the JIC. They just sent something in this morning. 6:34 is sunset tonight. Hashtag tell the others. Sunrise this morning was about 4 minutes ago. That's news and weather together. Brought to you by Posh Spice and Bank Pacific. Banking on the Pacific for 67 and a half years.
Are you looking for a new place to hang out with your friends? Let's go along the sidelines at Sidelines Bar and Grill. Located at 154 Iriarty Road, Unit 4 and 5 in Tamuning behind Royal Bigs. Sidelines, a hidden gem with nothing but great things to offer. Great atmosphere, great food, top shelf drinks, and a great team. What are we waiting for? Let the fun begin at Sidelines Bar and Grill. Open daily from 3 p.m. to 2 a.m. See you there.
The Federal Reserve is starting to increase interest rates to fight inflation, but they're still so low, making it the perfect time to refinance your home, to lower your rate, and perhaps take advantage of its increased value to put some cash in your pocket during these uncertain times. Cash that you can have the freedom to access when you want, where you want, with your Bank Pacific Visa debit card. Lower your rate with cash in your pocket. Access your cash when you want, where you want, with your Visa debit card. Brothers put branches, we place roots, and we're rooting for you. Equal housing lender, credit conditions apply.
Right on. I got it. Portions of the program brought to you by the guys over at APL, American President Lines, a global presence with a local home and Wendy's. Good Friday. This could mark the end of that Alaskan wild caught pollock in the Punko. Somebody criticized me the other day. Said, "How come you say panko with punko?" I said, "Because I was married to a Japanese woman for 15 years, and that's how they say punko in Japan. They don't call it panko, for heaven's sakes." Listen, just get it in your mouth, because I don't know how much longer Wendy's is going to be selling that pollock that is punko fried to its ultimate perfection. They've got it in a sandwich, and they've got it in a platter as well. Somebody said, "This is so good, we ought to be able to sell this by itself." So they did. They put it on a platter, a little bit of rice over there, and some cut greens. That's the way they're doing Lent. Good Friday style today at Wendy's.
The Ray Gibson Show. Morning talk that matters. Call now. 888-TALK. That's 888-8255.
In the morning, welcome to the program. Excuse the mess. It is the Ray Gibson Show on 93.3 The Point. My name is Ray. I usually say I'm thrilled to be here with you this morning, but it's good for you. Know what we found out yesterday? Somebody actually looked at the company calendar. Hi, my name is Ray, managing partner, Choice Broadcasting. Monica's going to look at me like, what? Do you got one in the studio, right?
I do have one in the studio.
What's it say about Good Friday? What does it say about company holidays? Does it include Good Friday in there?
It does include Good Friday.
How about that? Yes.
Wow. The leader, I'm out here.
No. You're stuck here, just like the
Do I
people
get time
over.
and a half?
You're stuck here, just like the people over at the
No
legislature
one has it as
yesterday.
duty pay.
This is my
God.
sacrifice, Ray.
God, can I charge extra for listening to that debacle?
Oh,
yesterday?
Gave up holidays for Lent,
I had it playing all day long at home. It was kind of the background noise, so I was paying attention as. And at the end of the day, I just wanted to throw something at my TV. Like, what did I do all day?
I'm sure there are people over at the legislature feeling that way as well. Listen, I'm going to play them without too much, without too much of a send up and fanfare on the way in and the way out. Let you decide, how you feel about.
I think everybody who sat at that panel should send the legislature a bill for their time.
It's just multiple hissy. There was multiple hissy towards the end at the legislature yesterday. So I mean, and so I've been talking to Mon about that.
I sent you the clip, right, from
I went and
you watched it yourself.
I went to the YouTube site. So we're going to be playing the Virgin feed because it sounds much better than the clip that you sent last night.
Mm-hmm.
So, but yeah, it was Clint basically losing his blank because what are we doing here? It's Holy Week. None of us wanted to be here for Holy Week, and it occurs to me as I'm hearing him say that. Wait, hold on a second. Time out. You guys don't work on Holy Week? Did the legislature... Wait, no, this is important. Did the legislature except for yesterday...
Not a break, but not go into session on Holy Week.
They wouldn't have had session until later in the month anyway.
Exactly.
Sorry, but
exactly his point.
I get it, but I'm just saying it. Was there no legislature last week? Was it just like what did they do? Just
it was a moment of silence for the week.
It's a long
Holy Week.
Yes, it's Holy Week. Starting on Monday. How many of you guys went to rehearsal to have your feet washed last night? Did anybody do all that stuff?
Yeah.
It's a thing. Anyway, 660. We'll get around to playing that, but I don't know that I'm thrilled here to be with you because I'd completely forgotten. And then
let me tell you that I'm no longer thrilled. Not that I was, but if there was even a hint of
just a less thrilled here. But
now that I know that I was right.
No, I was right. And I said it yesterday. We're working tomorrow, and it doesn't make any difference what holiday or not. We're working on Good Friday because there was going to be stuff happening yesterday. And sure enough, as you looked at all of the bulletins and things that were coming in on your phones, all the notifications, there was actual news. The shoe on the trial, Peter Santos' trial, what's the name?
Oh, the hammer drop.
Rudy Canetta. That finally fell. The guy comes in guilty on a charge. They got some other charges that they're probably going to go try again later on, but they got a hung jury on that. The special allegations, in particular, the one with the deadly weapon, because they weren't able to make a connection between a hammer and Rudy's hand, so they couldn't do that. But they were able to find him guilty on the charge of murder. So it looks like it was him and Sked that went in there, and what should have been just a fun night, goofing off and drinking beer, turned ugly, and it led to the death of the former mayor of Umatilla. Interesting case. That was interesting. The comings and goings. And the less than stellar performance, I must say, of the Republican minority over at the legislature. Slow golf clap. Do we have the golf clap? I see what you did there. But it was worse than it being a failure to execute, guys. It has also given rise to 1, 2, 3 different comments coming from a variety of individuals, starting with, do you want to get laughed at by Julian Jensen and the nerds over at the Progressive Democrats of Guam? Because that was among the first of the comments that came out, their press release upon what they're referring to. It's a victory for working families. Hey, at least they said that. Is it because they could have said a failure by the minority at the legislature? Statement from the Democratic Party of Guam on that. I'll read those to you. And then just to rub it in, just to make sure the rubbing your nose in it was complete, there is a statement on the failure of Resolution 291 from over at the governor's office. What happened there, guys? What happened there? It was one of those things. It was an assumption that Therese was going to hang out with you. Was there an assumption that maybe Mary would show up at the legislature yesterday at Holy Thursday and where she had not supported the resolution or the ending, the suspension of the public health emergencies, that by some Republican miracle that she would? I don't know. It's one of those things. You got to try to know what's going to happen when you get in there. And I could tell that there was going to be bamboozlement from about the first 10 minutes. Because did you watch when they first opened up?
No, I didn't catch that part.
So I went in. They signed everybody in. Everybody has to do the interfresi, genuflect towards Therese, whatever it is that you're supposed to do as we get the process started. And then it was like Chris is saying, do you have the paperwork? Do you have anything in black and white that says that will back up what the governor said or sides with the Stafford Act or whatever? And virtually everybody said no. And we'll you know what, we'll have to get back to you on all of that. And I'm going, well, why would you show up at a public hearing? And you knew it was committee on the whole. You knew that they would be asking for that documentation, that paperwork. Why wouldn't you bring it with you? And it either doesn't exist or they just didn't want to. We'll get back to you on that. Here's your non-answer, Senator, and we'll just kind of move on from there. And if that was going to be the crux of the withdrawal of the public health emergency, these guys began the bamboozlement very, very early in the process. But we got all morning. Well, not actually all morning. Just a note, because it is Good Friday, and everybody that we're going to try to get a hold of this morning is either going to dodge the call by saying it's Good Friday, or are going to actually be involved in Good Friday activities. Mana, you said that there's one out in Totu?
Yeah, at the Station of the Cross that they do every Good Friday.
Yep.
It starts at Totu Church, IHOM, and then it goes around that little loop there and right back to the church.
There's a loop there?
Yeah, I can't remember the name
over
of the
by
road.
Old GW? The old GW road, or is it like in the parking lot? Or
So you go from the church and then you take a right and then you go left.
Does it
and
go to
then
your
you
house?
Around in a circle and then back to the. I don't know the names of the street.
Is it still in your village?
It doesn't go past my house.
Or is it still in my village? Okay, I got
It's partially in mine and partially in yours.
Is there Humujung Bungalow this morning? Is anybody?
Yeah,
I meant to
that
look
was
at
what I wanted to know.
I'll see if I can look at the map here and see what's going on that side of the island. Oh, you know what? Maybe there is. Hold on, boys and girls. Let me put this up on the screen here. Seti Bay Overlook, and we've got a whole bunch of cars, both sides of the street, that appear to be parked on the side of the road. Right at the Seti Bay Overlook is that area right there is. You go in a little gully, and then you start climbing. And then you keep climbing, and then you climb some more into the clouds, into where you can look into the eye of God. And I'm delighted to see that there are some of the faithful doing that. I don't know that it is going to be as big as it has been in years past. But the good news is it's not raining yet. That is from where I sit. It doesn't look like we're going to get a whole lot of rain today. Because I want to say in the last couple of years, it has been absolutely muddy sliding up the hill. Carrying all the goods and hauling people up there, but it's worth it once you get there. It's worth it once you get there and the crosses. It really is a kind of cool feeling of accomplishment. And then of course you hike down. There's the hike down. Have you ever done that?
No, I've never been up there.
It ain't so bad. It ain't so bad. I remember I went up there once, a family hike. And it was a bunch of the old guys who were just huffing and puffing, and the kids weren't having a good time. But as soon as the kids figured out what the trail was looking like, from the top, my friend Shalin's kids ran open stride, ran down the hill until they were all finished with and got back to the car. Absolutely crazy morning. And if you get a chance, man, I would suggest you do something like that. Anyway, 6:22 in the morning. We are not alone here. Real Joe gets the phone. You call it 888-825-5888-TALK. Mana Silva Tyron with a look at all the big news and headlines, stuff that we were going to be talking about, stuff that we predicted a little bit yesterday about today's news tomorrow. Does that make sense? Doesn't have to. It's Good Friday. Tell you what, but I do want to say good morning to all of these holy hill climbers here.
Sometimes you want to go where everybody knows your name, and they're always glad you came. You want to be where you can see our troubles are all the same. You want to be where everybody knows your name. Knows your name.
And at 6:23 in the morning, I'll get to the names here. I got from the app of record. I know who's number one, and we'll talk about that in a second. But I want to take this early morning phone call. Frank Salas on the line?
Correct, sir.
Nice, sir. Thank you very much, sir. Frank Salas with a PSA for our listeners. Buenos Zen Hafade. Welcome to the show, Frank.
Buenos Hafade.
What's going on?
Mana and Joe. Hopefully you guys do me a big favor. We're having I'm from a group called Once a Marine, Always a Marine, and we're having our 10th annual picnic at Ajax and Basita on Saturday, 23 April. I was hoping that you were able to help us reach out to all the Marines, Navy Corpsmen, and Corps women around the island. We just don't want to leave anyone behind. So please come out for an afternoon of fun. down at Agasagosita. It starts at 11 a.m. all the way out to 8 p.m. And we're just trying to use all the media available to help us pass the word to all the Marines and the families, and of course the Navy corpsmen and corpsmen around the island.
Frank, the answer is yes. And for the Marines and the corpsmen and their family, the answer is always going to be yes here. So whatever it is that you need for publicity, send me a flyer. I'll get you my WhatsApp is 797-8255. Send me that. We'll put that up on the screen so everybody can see it. Now, a couple of questions. Otherwise, there's certain Marines I know that won't go. Will there be beer?
There'll be a little bit of alcohol, but more water and soda and everything else. But there will be beer there, of course.
Roger that. And this is.
And then I'm writing you and the whole staff to be there, please, if you can.
I'd love it.
And stop on by. We always have entertainment each year for both adults and kids. And like I said, it'll be an afternoon of fun. And we have that beach, a beautiful beach right there also.
Oh, it is terrific there, Frank. Now, one thing is I never had the privilege of service, nor if I did was I a Marine. I worked for one. I worked for Lee Holmes for many years, and of course I worked with Bob
Lee
Klitsky.
Holmes, as a Marine veteran, and one of our awesome supporters way back in the past.
Yep.
Yes.
Well, the answer is yes, Frank. So the 23rd, Second Besita from 11 until whenever. It's a big Marine get together. Once a Marine, always a Marine. Semper Fi, sir. Thank you for your service.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. In the past we've had our picnics at EPEN. Last time we've had over 400 people there, and this year we're expecting about 300, 350 there. So come on down. Don't worry about the parking. There's parking there and parking around the side of the road there. So please do come on down and enjoy with the Marine veterans and their families and Navy corpsmen and corpsmen also.
Frank, I appreciate the invitation, and Biba, and happy Easter to you and your family.
Happy Easter, Ray, and man, and everybody else.
Okay,
Thank you very
I'll
much.
talk to you again soon. Call in every day if you want to. Be happy to support that on behalf of the Marine community here on Guam. 6:26 in the morning. Are you ready for the top 10? Here it comes. Number 1, Joe and Type to Know. I know, right? Hey. Oh, you do that? I don't know. Nate Horn coming in at number 2. Post Canteen at number 3. And a reminder for him and his military family. Tonight, Good Friday, the Queen of Hearts drawing. $1,734 in the jackpot. That's where it is right now. Now, as they open the doors and people buy more tickets, the jackpot is going to go up higher. $1,734. Let's see if we can get that money out the door today. Brad Woods online. I see Ismail Velez and Dennis Larson, the B-Man. Competition from the B-Woman. Dinner last night was after I went running and went over Poke Fry. Had me some. I know. You know what? They gave me
surprise.
It was not Spam Kelly, the Salmon Kelly one that they make out there. So good.
Sweet.
But I was still hungry when I was on the way home, so I went to KFC and I got me some of these chicken things. Like chickeny fingers.
Yeah.
I forget what the real name is of it, but anyway. So I got some of that, and I thought, this is going to taste great with honey. So I got some of that honey that Michelle Armenta gave me, and had drizzled now onto my chicken thing. And then I thought, you know what? Maybe I'm going to spice this thing up a little bit. So I took the hot pack from KFC, mixed that up with the honey. Oh, my God. You've got to give that a shot next time you're out there. Whether it's Dennis's honey or Michelle's honey, doesn't matter. Let me see. Anthony Bennett, Lohan, Duane is online. Susan Ann Smith Hearn. Welcome to the top 10. Good job, sweetheart. Mike and Grace Bloss and Cheryl Ochai round out the top 10 this morning. Let me see if I can find some other names of folks that have tuned in for the morning and see where their heads are at today. Benidosu Tau Buenas and Hafa Day to you. Jay, now to Rudy Rodolfo, the original Burger King, saying good morning and Hafa Day, Mana, Joe, and Jerry. Let me see. Henry Manglonia, good morning. It's Good Friday. Absolutely. Soon to be Senator Harvey Ekna.
Oh, Biba.
Online with us this morning, John Barcina St. Nicholas, Joe Lynn Mansfield, MT Farron. I see Joe Cruz is lurking here. So is Felix Bumba. Bob and Connie Bartonico, Gemma Bustamante. Happy and blessed Good Friday. Mike and Grace Blas with the benediction. Repent, be baptized, and believe the good news, a.k.a. the Bible. Chach Uggan is there. Valerie S.A. Untalan. I see Tina Garcia. John Ray Titano is watching the program. So is Gina San Nicolas. Valerie S.A. Untalan. If I haven't said that name already, she wants to say buenas and Good Friday to everybody. Keena McCausland, Tim Zedeker, Jesse Lujan.
Biba.
Thank you so much. Joe Jerry is there. Mark Cruz doing his wave. Bertha Maza Cruz. Sabine Chargaloff. Buenas to Kenneth Polino. Armando Dominguez is watching the show today.
He's a Biba.
Is he a Biba?
An old Biba.
He's an old Biba.
Yeah.
Okay, we don't discriminate here. We're all inclusive. Diversity is our hallmark. Do I say hallmark? All right, got it. So he said, blessing to all. Remember Jesus' teaching. I see Danny Guerrero online. Why were two senators absent from voting? Joe S. and Mary Torres, I believe, were not at the legislature for the vote on the stupendous resolution 291. Jay Rojas is on.
Happy Hawaii birthday.
Happy Hawaii birthday.
Mahalos and happy hangover.
Ran into your sister last night. Now we were wondering, what celebrities does Jay Rojas celebrate his birthday with?
Yuka Hachinova.
Running buddy and money chick over at the Guam Memorial Hospital. Seth Rogen is 40 years old.
Oh, that explains everything.
One of our favorite stoners is celebrating a birthday with Jay Rojas. And Emma Watson, everybody's Harry Potter crush.
Oh, Emma.
Are you ready?
What is she, 84 now?
32 years old.
32.
32 years old.
That's too old for me, man.
It's too old?
Yeah, she's too old,
You
man.
and Leo.
But you can.
She knows too much
You
now.
can still have those fantasies in your head without feeling icky, right? Okay,
Of course.
She's 32 now.
She's a grown woman.
Other birthdays over the weekend include Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, 75. Martin Lawrence, the comedian, is 57 years old. Chance the Rapper, 29. I'll bet you everybody that's listening right now knows at least one Chance the Rapper song, right? Booty, 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 booty. It's also Jennifer Garner's birthday, and Victoria Beckham,
nice.
like I said, of the Spice Girls, is 48 years over the weekend. We'll go over some of the big reasons to celebrate. If you're looking for something to celebrate this weekend, I will find something for you. Oh, this is so cool. So I'm looking at the app, right, and it does that thing with the character generation on the bottom.
Yeah.
And so when I said booty, 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 it writes it down. Booty, booty, booty. Booty, 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 booty. I just want to see how much I can do before the Zuckerberg computer says stop it. Would you? Let me see. Eunice Mandiola. Good morning to you, Sabine. Really need to vote in some senators that will finally work for the citizens of Guam, but not during Holy Week, for heaven's sakes. Rose Parillo is online. Dennis Larson said they're in it for themselves, not for the people. Benny and Tricia. Ellie Federico. Good morning to Sarah Lake. Maganda Umaga. They should get 2 sick days a year. Any more than that, there should be financial penalties. Hey, Kennedy Robinson is online. So is our favorite jarhead, Brennan Fausto. Brennan, tell you what, you come pick us up we'll meet you here at the radio station like 10:30. And can you drive us all down to Agate for that thing at Sagam Visita?
Bring your war face, bro.
Oh, that would be cool. I've got. You know what? I don't have any actual marine clothes. We got borrow some from
silkies, dude.
I got the green
You and me,
silkies. So maybe that and just kind of a red shirt.
Walking with him. Yeah.
We'll get tattoos. We'll get tattoos on the way down. Find Tattoo Shauna. Heather Pear is online here. I see Rafael Martellino, John Myrick, Mercy Wenzel. Good morning to you. What's that? Maganda Umaga, lovies. Frowny faces forbidden today. Absolutely right. Lonnie Salas is there. Bertha Maza Cruz, many heading south this morning. Mount Lam Trek sure looks like it. Franklin Menno. What's that? Post Canteen says Wendy's in Barragata is out of the fish sandwich. Ooh. Brad Wood, John Barcinas and Nicholas says thank you to GFD, GPD, Mauricio Mayor's office, and all the volunteers who came out to help find my Aunt Carmen over the last 3 days. They're very, very happy news. Page 2 of today's Guam Daily Post. There are a lot of people that were concerned after she managed to wander off for a little bit, but home and safe is the good news that we can give you on a Good Friday morning. Banidosu Tautau, better be some pork steak at the commissary today. After all, it's yeah, I don't know. How many people went out shopping yesterday?
Sold out meat.
That'll explain why it was dogging out traffic over at Payless yesterday.
It's a big barbecue weekend.
Yeah,
right,
with everybody going out and buying all their steaks and the chicken and the pork that they haven't had a chance to eat all the way through Lent. Frank Meadows, there he is, bunker for senator.
Oh,
We didn't do the
Viva Bunker.
I will fight and work for people. I will be your voice. I know struggle because I walked in your shoes. In my case, shoe.
Yeah, wow, Bunker.
Okay, now you're going to say, okay, why is that funny? I don't get it. I don't get it.
WWBD.
That's right.
What will Bunker do?
Because he's missing a feet. Okay, there we go. Ken LG, the Easter egg at Adeloop shows what a joke the Red Queen's claim of public health care emergency really is. Check the WhatsApp. Okay, I will. We're Ricky Woodall, Marla Carbolito, that's your pal. Bill Marino. Keith Dixon is watching the program. So is Anna Marie. Bruce Johnson, good morning, Point Power. Good to have you along, Bruce. I hope you appreciate all the fun that we're going to have today. Picking apart all of yesterday's stories. Dan Rasal, Frank Gunner Solis, there's that cool name again. Paulie Cruz and Jose Martino. The panel was embarrassing. They wasted our time and money. You know, bro, Jose, I cannot watch that stuff in real time.
Yeah,
I tell you what, I cannot watch it in real time. First of all, the pomp and ceremony and the self-importance of the first 10 minutes of any legislative session has just got, I barf, right? Barf. Yeah, I mean, remember when they did that barbershop quartet? They'd get all the guys up there and they'd sing. It was like, this is not high school. This legislature. Leave that crap to the youth Congress. And so what I do is I'll wait a while and then I listen for what guys like you that are watching in real time say, and then I make a mental note of myself to catch that on the rewind. So I'm gonna play some of that for you a little bit later on. Franklin Senator Meadow says if Rudy called the police right away, he may have been found not guilty. Instead, he tried to hide. And this is not Rudy's first rodeo with murder, as he was incarcerated for murder of a Marine. On top of that, he's a large man who could have easily stopped Joyner. Interesting conversation that we're having here. MP Ogo is there. Frank and Bertha Maza Cruz, Pat Saho, Nick Perlowski looking for something to growl about. I'll give you something here soon. Jennifer Leon Guerrero Mendiola is there. Doris and Doug Mitchell waving at everybody. Simon Sanchez from the CCU. Doris and Doug Mitchell watching, and Belen Sidell hitting us with multiple Valentine's likes already. Sal Tenorio and Greg Massey, Veronica Mateo Blas, Jackie Uggan Farron, Priscilla Castro Torres. Good to see Juanita Sablon with us. Former Governor Carl T. Gutierrez.
Hey, look at all that sunshine he's bringing.
Massive amounts of sunshine and fireworks. And fireworks.
Oh, nice.
Taiwanese fireworks, which is actually kind of interesting because I met somebody from a fireworks company in Taiwan the other day. So it's kind of it all kind of matches. We'll go over that a little bit later on. Alfred Wayne Cabo is there. Jess May Bora. Teresa Nuke is there. I got John Taitagui, Frank Perez. Manana Esta Manuadzan. What are you trying to say here?
Nice.
Manana. Okay, I want to see how the Facebook translates that. Dennis Benzer. Oh, hi from Rhoda. My hiking buddies do an annual Rhoda invasion.
Oh, sweet.
Yeah. Oh, it is. It is. So
where are they staying at? Joe and Tina's?
I don't know where. In the car.
In the car.
I think Dennis got a van, and so
car.
my hiking buddies are sleeping in the car. But you know what they did last night? I got pictures of this. They went out last night on a Fanihi watch.
Oh,
because in Rhoda there
got a
are
lot?
Fanihi, because nobody ate it all. So they were out there, looking up in the trees. And what you want to do here, Dennis? This is actual fact. Old Chamorro boys know how to do this. If you want to make friends with the fruit bat, stand under the tree and you take the palm of your hand.
Oh yeah,
that's the sound. That's the mating call,
yes.
Dennis. That's how you're gonna get a Rotanese Fanihi girlfriend. Just that's how it's done, brother. It's the way it works. Tattoo Sean is online already. Damon Kaufman. Good morning, Amanda Kosman. Waiting in line at DMV, and the line is already super long already. What? Oh yeah. There's DMV on Good Friday?
No way.
Apparently, it's not a government holiday.
It's not. Oh, wow.
I don't know what happened because it's listed as a government holiday.
Jolene Almondres
the last time they canceled a
don't
religious
do that.
holiday.
No, don't do that. Bob Klitsky will call and say that's myth. Stop perpetuating the myth. So everybody says like everybody when they talk about Typhoon Pound, like, oh yeah, it came right around and hit us.
Yeah.
Look it up, didn't happen. Joanne Type to Know is there. Says I wasn't the first person. I believe it was post Canteen. I was number 4 or 5. I don't want to take that away from anybody.
Oh wow. Let them disqualify you.
Joanne? This is the app of record on my phone. And on my phone, you were number one today. So I don't want to take anything away from you. Kenny Williams is online. Good to see you there. Rita Kita Chai, Joe and Goko. Huge crowd here considering it's Good Friday. Sean May and let me see, Norma Hagen. Good to see you there. Ivan, average person doesn't show for work, then they get docked or eventually fired. That's the penalty. What's the penalty for no-show senators? Aren't they paid to show up and vote on our behalf? Yeah, you know what? I'm always careful about giving senators a hard time about, how come you're not there for the votes? Big, important vote. Blah, blah, blah. And then if I know, oh, yeah, my mom died. Ooh, yeah, hard to take that back. Kind of hard to walk that back. So until I know exactly what was going on, I usually sit back on that kind of thing. Jay Roa says, dang it, my Guam driver's license expired yesterday. But can he renew it online?
No,
Yes, he
has to
can.
go to school again, Ray. And send him back to school.
First
Make him
grade.
parallel park.
You can actually do it online.
I think you can do it online, Jake. Give it a shot. James Bondo and Wen Rowie round out a huge Good Friday crowd that we've got here this morning. 888-8255-888-TALK. As I said, that's how you get everything on the air. That's you call up the radio station just like Frank Gunner Solis did just a few minutes ago, and then or 797-8255. Send me whatever. You know what? I just found out Todu Guam is going to have a 5K soon. That's my thing now, guys. That's my thing is I'm putting together the catalog of all the cool 5Ks that are coming up. Police department's got one coming up. There's one for the autism community that's coming up before too much longer. And Todu Guam.
Oh, gosh, I was thinking that Todu
I know what
Guam
you were
is
thinking.
The porta potty Todu Guam.
No, not that. No, it's Todu. That's Dennis Rodriguez's thing.
Okay.
And so I'm going to get...
So I'm like, what, are we running to the potty?
No, not that kind of 5K.
I mean, it's always helpful.
So it's 6:40 in the morning. It's hot in the studio. Big national story. For those of you that are wondering, if you haven't hit the Twitter yet, the big national story, maybe you've heard of the guy, Elon Musk, has made an offer to buy Tesla. And
No, Twitter.
Oh, I'm sorry, Twitter. He already owns Tesla.
He owns Tesla.
Sorry, I'm just so excited about the story. Musk makes a $43 billion offer for Twitter to build an arena for free speech, and the left is losing their mind. They're losing their mind. And here's the funny thing, is he's able to buy Twitter with all that money that liberals spent for his Teslas. So all that money they spent on Teslas, he's using now to buy Twitter. It's so cool. Yeah, it's great. Billionaire entrepreneur Elon Musk took aim at Twitter with a $43 billion cash takeover offer on Thursday, with the Tesla CEO saying the social media company needs to be taken private to grow and become a platform for free speech. I think it's very important for there to be an inclusive arena for it, Musk said at a TED Talk in Vancouver. Musk, already the San Francisco-based company's second largest shareholder, made the bid in a letter to the Twitter board Wednesday. The offer was made public in a regulatory filing Thursday. He also told the TED Talk audience he wasn't sure he will actually be able to acquire Twitter. Even so, he said he had sufficient assets to make the purchase. There is the understatement of our lives. The world's richest man. Yeah, I think I've got sufficient assets to make the purchase. Having a public platform that is massively trusted and broadly inclusive is extremely important to the future of civilization. He said his offer of $54.20 a share represents a 38% premium to Twitter's April 1st close, the last trading day before his 9.1 stake in the social media platform was made public. And there's more, obviously, to this story, and he's being sued. But can you imagine what it is like on the Twitter board right now? Can you imagine what it's like in the offices of Twitter and all these libbies out there that have taken such great delight in censoring and eliminating and canceling the subscriptions of all kinds of conservative voices, or in the very least, as will happen to you from time to time, Twitter jail. There is such a thing as Twitter jail. If they don't like what you wrote, they will say you were moving against our community standards. How dare you take offense at the moves now being made at Disney to over-sexualize your 4-year-olds? How dare you? How dare you, really? Anyway, so that's one of the big stories, and we'll spend some time talking about that a little bit later on. And I don't often play video, but when I do, you just got to know that it's going to be fun for whatever reason. So a couple of pieces of video that came from last night's. Was it last night when Clinton was doing his thing?
Yeah, it was last night. It was like around 6-ish.
It was in the evening. I guess they took a break because...
Or 5-ish, yeah.
Work. And then they came back and started having discussions about what they would end up eventually doing, torpedoing Resolution 291 one way or the other. So interesting comments from Clint Rigel, followed by the interesting follow-up by Dello Taitui. And I don't know what's funnier, one or the other, maybe both of them. So that's on the way as the Ray Gibson Show continues. I was supposed to do headlines.
It's okay. Yeah, these are the headlines.
What happened, Mana?
On the front of your paper today, after an entire day of question and answer, the legislative resolution intended to end the governor's public health emergency has failed. Resolution 291 shot down by your elected senators. Anyways, the governor, her public health emergency well on the way of lifting at least some of her pandemic restrictions if all bodes well and the low hospitalization rates and the positivity rates remain low. April 19th could be the day that they lift at least the outdoor mask mandate. They're looking at early May for possibly lifting the mandate for indoor mask wearing. After 2 weeks of deliberation, jurors in the Rudy Kanata trial have come back with a guilty verdict, charging him with murder in the brutal killing of Umatic Mayor Daniel Sanchez. The jury, however, unable to reach a decision on the charge of aggravated assault and weapons charges. The prosecutor did say that he intends to pursue those charges in another trial. Sentencing for Kanata and his girlfriend, Joyner Sked, will take place at a later date. And those are your headlines right here on The Point.
I got you. Let's see, 6:45 in the morning, more on the way, including this meme here from another one of the big national stories. We're all trying to figure out how this happened. 2 women at a New Jersey's only all-women's prison apparently are both pregnant.
Wasn't me.
After having sex with the same transgender inmate. So that's what happens. It's a guy, didn't want to be in boy jail anymore, claimed that he was a woman, went into jail at an only woman's facility, and now there's a couple of people that are pregnant there. God, I love this crazy time, don't you? Just anything seems to be possible. It's 6:45. We'll be right back.
Is your business ready for digital transformation? The latest Wi-Fi technology is here, and it's Docomo Pacific's WorkPass, powered by Plume. WorkPass unlocks connectivity, productivity, and security tools all in the palm of your hand. Access features like adaptive Wi-Fi, guest and employee networks, evolving AI security, plus so much more. To learn more about WorkPass, visit business.docomopacific.com. Docomo Pacific Business. Work better together.
Everyone has a busy schedule these days, and sometimes we forget to schedule our routine dental checkup and cleaning. Don't neglect your dental health. Schedule one today with Dr. Robert Yang and his Smile team. Conveniently located at the East West Business Center on Marine Drive, Upper Tumon. Call us today at 647-8702 or 3. Again, that's 647-8702 or 647-8703. We make smiles happen.
Family Finance has been serving the people of Guam since 1959, and they will continue to be there for you in the years to come. Get a personal loan for that summer vacation or to pay off those long overdue bills. Family Finance has got you covered. Apply for a personal loan from $1,000 up to $3,900 by calling Family Finance in Hagåtña, now at the old Nanbo Insurance Building at 475-4545, Upper Tumon 647-5626, or in Dededo 633-4473. Family Finance, here to serve you.
6:47 in the morning. It's Good Friday. Many faithful making their way to the Seti Bay Overlook for the annual trip up Humudjong Monglo, where there have been for many, many years a number of crosses erected upon that site, and a lot of people think this is a great way to spend the morning. I believe they do a Stations of the Cross on the way up there, correct?
That is correct.
All right. I've never actually done this because I think I've always been working on Good Fridays, but it does sound like something that is something exercise and fun and faithful, all wrapped up in one. So big kudos to everybody that's doing that. 888-8255-888-TALK. I'm on the lookout for other traffic issues. Let me zoom all the way out and move back into the central and northern part of the island. Don't see a whole lot happening at Big Navy in Sumai. Nobody is in Agana. I don't see a whole lot happening on any of Guam's roadways. Doesn't even look like intersection traffic working right about now. So if you're working today, maybe you are the only one. That's all the traffic we've got for you right now here on The Point. In celebration of our 33rd anniversary,
BK's new Whopper Melts are here. Our Whopper Melts feature 2 slices of toasted bread layered with 2 Whopper Junior patties for a quarter pound of plain grilled beef, melty American cheese, caramelized onions, and stacker sauce. Whopper Melts now available in a spicy and bacony variation made for our big Whopper fans. Top off your meal with jalapeno cheddar bites and a refreshing Coca-Cola. Get your hands on the new Whopper Melts now available for a limited time. BK, Tumon Bay, Aganya, Micronesia Mall, and the airport. BK your way.
Hafaday, this is Josh here at APL. Our expertise and extensive network can help you grow your business and reach out to more global markets. As a responsible carrier, APL is also committed to a sustainable future, whether it's protecting the environment or investing our efforts in giving back to the community. Our dedicated teams in Guam, Saipan, and on U.S. mainland are here to support you. Call 588-4651 or visit www.apl.com.
Well, looks like the public health emergency is going to be with us for a while. So if you're one of those people that's making money on it, I suggest you go by NissanGuam.com on the World Wide Web and test drive your new Infiniti QX60. It has arrived. It's there waiting for you. I took a test drive on one of these things and absolutely loved it. It's one of those where it's like as soon as I get out of the car, it's like, I got to call the bank. I got to call the bank. I got to find a way. And you will as well. It's got so much technology. I'm a technophile. I'm one of those guys. I'm happy if I push a button and a light goes on somewhere. Can you imagine pushing a button and all of a sudden their air conditioning goes on? Okay, how about this? Air conditioning in the chair and not a heater. Not a heater. It's an air conditioning. It will blow literally cold air through the chair. Can you imagine on some of the hot Guam days that we have? And I tell you what, one of my other favorite features, and it's so hard to find a lot of cars these days, virtually every model, I believe, of the QX60 comes with a standard. It's a sunroof/moonroof. There's nothing greater than the feeling of driving down Marine Corps Drive, back road to Anderson, Cross Island Road, doing 75 miles an hour. You got the aircon blasting in your face, got the aircon coming up in from your butt, and you've got the wind in your hair from the sun/moonroof. You got to do a test drive today. And if for no other reason, if you're not going to get the QX60, do the test drive and then go buy the Sentra. I'll tell you more about that in the next hour.
The Ray Gibson Show, bringing you closer to the action. This is The Point, Guam's FM News Talk Superstation.
6:50 in the morning. I subscribed to a newsletter from an outfit called Axios, and this morning Axios is taking apart Elon Musk's. They're calling it Elon's poison pill. Elon Musk has already given Twitter boards several potential reasons to reject his $43 billion hostile takeover bid. They're already calling it a hostile takeover. He doesn't. Does he look like a hostile guy?
No, he doesn't.
Doesn't he look like we'd be buds if we ever hooked up together,
yeah.
right? We'd be hanging out, be mimosas, right? And I'd be like, hey, you want to share some Tanalaka? And he'd be like, sure. Can I buy you a beer? There would be that kind of buds relationship. So you know why the lefties don't like him? Because he's a straight white guy with lots of money and they can't control him.
Yeah.
That's why the lefties hate this guy. So everybody's starting to take apart this deal that he wants to make. Corporate boards have a fiduciary responsibility to shareholders, but that doesn't mean they have to accept the highest takeover price or the takeover at all. Does the takeover have a reasonable chance of closing? How does it affect other stakeholders, including users and employees? And does the board want to try a poison pill? Now Musk, in the face of all of these kinds of questions, is saying, look, it'd be utterly indefensible not to put this offer to shareholder vote. They own the company, not the board of directors. So lines are already being drawn. And why is he doing this? Why does he want to do this? Quote, this isn't a way to make money. My strong intuitive sense is that having a public platform that is a maximally trusted and broadly inclusive is extremely important to the future of civilization. I don't care about the economics of it at all.
Saving the world.
Imagine that. Yeah, my rockets, my battery-powered cars, and now I'm going to buy Twitter. Like I said, I'm just excited to watch the fireworks.
Of course he doesn't care about the economics. He's got $400 million.
Right. Twice as rich than the next richest guy on the planet.
He has $1 gazillion. What does he care about?
He doesn't need to come to Guam and make money off this public health emergency. He doesn't have to, do any of that stuff. Sell expensive PPEs and, be the headhunter for whatever this, that, and the other. 6:52 in the morning. All right, a bunch of stuff on the table of contents, and I begin with we're taking the credit for all of the news that we're going to be talking about today. People were originally saying, no, you don't need to do a show. It's Good Friday. It's a Holy Week. Why are we here on Holy Week? Oh, wait a second. I didn't say that. Clint did. But no, the reason was, and I had that feeling it was going to be one of those Thursdays where all kinds of stuff was going to happen. And sure enough, one of the first notices that I got was from Candid. They went live from the district court and the trial, Superior Court, the trial on Rudy Kanata. He has been found guilty in this case. We'll see what happens next. I don't know if they're going to be going for an appeal. They might want to wait until appears that there is a desire to once again try him on the special charges and those special allegations. We'll watch and see what happens. The resolution failed pretty much along party lines. Therese Terlai seems to me was in it for a while. I don't know where exactly she changed her mind or where exactly her mind was changed. You get the difference, right? But it looks like it went down along party lines. Mary Torres was not there, but even if she was, she probably would have supported turning down the resolution. She wasn't crazy about it to begin with. Even since the Gibson Klitsky resolution, you remember her reaction when we just for whatever reason, just to fill in the space, we assumed that she was going to vote with the rest of the minority, so we put her name and Tello's name on it, and they both freaked out. They both had kittens on this. How dare you put my name on something like that? You didn't even give me the courtesy of asking me about it. So whatever. And so now this loss has led to all of the opponents of Resolution 291 literally racing to their phones to send out emails and press releases. We begin with the nerds at the Progressive Democrats of Guam as they hail the Democratic Caucus victory for working families. The Progressive Democrats of Guam are thankful that on Good Friday's Eve, the working people of Guam had a victory, saving emergency supplemental SNAP benefits of 15,000 working families and around 45,000 children. Excuse me, working families?
Who's working?
Yeah. I'm sure that of the 45,000, there are some people that are working. And only using the SNAP benefits as a hand up in these tricky times. But how many the rest of them that were there before COVID are working? Let's be very careful about our language, people. We applaud the excellent presentation by administration officials who were able to bamboozle. I'm sorry, I misread that. Dispel misleading and false information being spread in the community, said Julian Jensen, chapter leader of the Progressive Democrats of Guam. He continued, we also extend our sincerest thanks to the Democratic Caucus of the Guam Legislature, which stood united to keep our community safer and ensure that many working-class families will keep their supplemental SNAP benefits. If you got questions, you can reach out to him. All right, so that was followed. I'm going to say I put them in this order, although they might have come at different times. So I'm not going to say that it was followed by, but in addition to that statement, here comes one from the Democratic Party _party, right? We thank Speaker Therese Terlai, Vice Speaker Tina Munya-Barnes, and the Democratic majority for prioritizing the health and welfare of our people over election year political theater. As opposed to the COVID theater. While the Republicans try to justify postponing their ever-so-urgent need to end the emergency until next week, next month, or 3 months from now, we continue to pray that this downward trend continues and we are safely out of the woods. And here it comes. We need this. This would be a good place for that song by Emerson, Lake and Palmer, Fanfare for a Common Man, to come in. We overcame 3 surges. We protected our fragile healthcare system, and we continue to fight this pandemic. We did this together, and together we will overcome. We thank all the frontline workers who stepped up to serve our community, and Governor Lulian Guerrero, the angel sound effect. I'll read it again. We thank all our frontline workers who stepped up to serve our community and Governor Lulian Guerrero for her efforts to keep our island safe. We wish the people of Guam a blessed Easter. All right, that's the line from the Democrats here. Political theater. Well, yeah, but it's political theater. The only thing is they didn't do it as well as the Democrats normally do political theater. We got the statement on the failure of Resolution 291, the strongest of the language coming from the Adelup. Acting Governor Josh Tenorio issued the following statement. Acting Governor Josh. So the question is, where is she cha-cha sliding now? Did anybody know it?
To the left. To the left.
Slide right. Slide right. Tonight, Speaker Therese Terlai, Vice Speaker Tina Marks, and Senators Amanda Shelton, Telena Nelson, Sabina Paris, Clint Rigel, and Peter Terlai safeguarded our ability to deliver services and relief to the people of Guam through their diligence and compassion. I'm pleased to announce the continuation of the National Guard response, compensation for our frontliners responding to this emergency, and the delivery of food and nutrition to our island's most vulnerable. We've used all of our favorite Democrat words here. Most vulnerable, working families, whatever. These senators recognize that the public health emergency declaration is a tool needed by our exhausted frontliners to continue providing much-needed services to our community. We express our immense gratitude to the brave men and women who continue to hold the line against COVID-19, as well as the people of Guam for the everyday actions they've taken to keep themselves and their loved ones safe. It's a beautiful morning to be a Democrat, isn't it? With 291 and I don't know, is fiasco a strong enough word, Mona?
Fiasco's a good word.
Fiasco's a good word. Conundrum?
Debacle.
Debacle. A debacle over at the legislature.
Whatever.
291. I thought they had everything lined up. I thought we had a plan going in here, and it didn't work out. Apparently, they weren't able to get the sufficient answers that they were looking at from the panel, and enough. I think friendly fire coming in from the majority that on top of everything else made it so that it was going to end up being very, very difficult to pass 291, even with the resolutions that seemed to be accommodations that just rose more eyebrows over at the legislature. So RIP 291. It's 6:59 on the Ray Gibson Show. Coming up, Fox News Live, Monticello with a big look at news and whatever on the other side of that. Jerry Roberts should be sticking his head in, give us an extra point for a Friday to take us all the way through Easter weekend and into Monday. Stand by now. It's Fox News on the Point.
They sunk their battleship. Lisa Brady, Fox News. Russia's military now says its prized missile cruiser, the Moskva, sank while being towed to a port. Ukrainian officials say they hit it with a missile.
We're in no position to refute the Ukrainian claims right now that they hit it with a missile, but we can't absolutely confirm it independently.
Pentagon spokesman John Kirby.
We certainly recognize that the ship suffered a blow, an explosion, which led to a significant fire on board, and that it caused them to evacuate some of their sailors, if not all their sailors, from the ship.
Ukrainian forces also say they blew up a bridge, destroying an entire Russian military column around Ukraine's second-largest city of Kharkiv, where intense Russian shelling continues. An Ohio man convicted on federal charges for his role in the Capitol riot. 38-year-old Brian Thompson, the third riot suspect to be found guilty by a federal jury. They deliberated for less than 3 hours before rejecting Thompson's defense that he was following orders from President Trump when he stormed the Capitol. Former Trump White House senior advisor Stephen Miller appearing virtually before the January 6th committee today, weeks after the panel heard testimony from the former president's daughter and son-in-law. An all-hands meeting for Twitter employees at this hour after Elon Musk's surprise buyout offer.
It's definitely not from the standpoint of letting me figure out how to monopolize or maximize my ownership of Twitter, but we'll try to bring along as many shoulders as we're allowed to.
Instead, Musk tells TED Talk it's driven by his free speech concerns.
He also emphasized that it's really important to make the Twitter algorithm open source so that people can make suggestions. They can see when a tweet has been promoted or has been de-emphasized, so that there's just a lot more transparency and trust in what he calls that de facto town square.
Fox Business's Kelly O'Grady. Musk made a $43 billion all-cash offer. America is listening to Fox News.
Check out the newest hydro and garden center to hit Guam, Crop King Hydro. We have a huge selection of plant nutrients, soils, hydroponic mediums, organic pest control pumps, plant support, tools, and so much more. Call 635-4769. 635-GROW. Open Monday through Saturday, 10 to 6 at the Dededo Satina Mall, right across from Payless and Paradise Fitness. For whatever you grow, think Crop King Hydro. Crop King Hydro.
Oh, what's for breakfast at KFC under $3.95, you ask? What's for breakfast at KFC that's different than the other guys, you ask? KFC's chicken wrap, sausage wrap, the Colonel's chicken congee, chicken fried steak, sausage biscuit and gravy, and biscuit sandwiches made with KFC's original fluffy biscuits. All for under $3.95 and all only at KFC. Plus, with waffles and the Colonel's chicken fried rice, we've got something for everyone.
So visit KFC for breakfast today. It's finger-licking good.
A U.S. senator responds to reports questioning her mental fitness to stay in office.
California Democrat Dianne Feinstein says she remains committed to achieving results and puts her record up against anyone's. That response came after a report in the San Francisco Chronicle quoted lawmakers and former staffers that Feinstein's memory is rapidly deteriorating and questions if she can fulfill her job duties without staff doing much of the work. Feinstein is 88 years old, is not up for re-election until 2024. In her statement, Feinstein says she focused much of the past year on her husband's health and his death, but also successfully led the reauthorization of the Violence Against Women Act and secured direct funding to California, including for firefighters to help prepare for the upcoming wildfire season.
Fox's Jared Halpern. New Jersey sets the date for sales of recreational marijuana. Governor Phil Murphy says it's April 21st for those 21 and older. The announcement just 3 days after a green light from state regulators granting permits for 7 facilities that already sell medical cannabis. Recreational pot now legal in 18 states, plus D.C. A digital auction is flubbed.
A cryptocurrency dealer looking to sell a non-fungible token of former Twitter CEO Jack Dorsey's first tweet for $48 million coming in short, earning bids in the thousands. Sina Astavi, who paid nearly $3 million for the NFT, listing the digital asset on NFT marketplace OpenSea, vowing to donate 50% of the proceeds to Give Directly, a nonprofit organization which helps families in need, but seeing a slew of low bids. Dorsey auctioning his 2006 post, which says, "Just setting up my Twitter," spelt without the I, for charity last spring. Kristen Goodwin, Fox News.
Stocks finished lower, but oil prices surging back over $106 a barrel. I'm Lisa Brady. This is Fox News.
Half a day, this is Honey. Here at APL, our expertise and extensive network can help you grow your business and reach out to more global markets. As a responsible carrier, APL is also committed to a sustainable future, whether it's protecting the environment or investing our efforts in giving back to the community. Our dedicated teams in Guam, Saipan, and on U.S. mainland are here to support you. Call 588-4651 or visit apl.com.
$15 might not get you that far, but Chili's is bucking the trend with $15 meal deals. At Chili's, $15 gives you not 1, not 2, but 3-course meal deals complete with a drink, a starter, and an entree. Mix and match 3-course meals 15 ways to Sunday with soup, salad, or chips and salsa to start, and ranchero chicken tacos, honey chipotle crispers with rice, bacon ranch quesadillas, or personal fajitas for the main course. Build your own $15 meal deal at Chili's. More life and great value happen here.
The Federal Reserve is starting to increase interest rates to fight inflation, but they're still so low, making it the perfect time to refinance your home, to lower your rate, and perhaps take advantage of its increased value to put some cash in your pocket during these uncertain times. Cash that you can have the freedom to access when you want, where you want, with your Bank Pacific Visa debit card. Lower your rate, put cash in your pocket. Access your cash when you want, where you want, with your Visa debit card. Brothers put branches, we place roots, and we're rooting for you. Equal housing lender, credit conditions apply.
Half a day at 7:06. I'm Mona Silva Tyron with a look at your local news on the point. After an entire day of back and forth, a legislative resolution that was intended to end the governor's public health emergency has failed. Resolution 291 shot down by elected senators. Now, lawmakers spent hours discussing the health emergency in the committee of the whole and focusing on the ramifications should that public health emergency be terminated. On the floor, there were some attempts made to modify when the emergency would end instead of immediately, but those amendments failed. It was first Senator Chris Duenas who motioned to extend the public health emergency until May 2nd. However, Senator Tello Taitagui introduced another amendment that would extend that even further until June 2nd. But that effort led to a heated argument with Senator Clint Rogel, who then questioned what then would be the emergency. Rogel objected to the amendment and a further motion to adjourn. That also failed. Now, the administration has opposed the canceling of the public health emergency, saying it would jeopardize millions of dollars in federal pandemic aid. Following the vote, the Democratic Party put out a press release thanking the Democratic majority praising their vote against that resolution. The governor's office also chimed in on the legislative action. Acting Governor Josh Tenorio saying that the action allows for the continuation of programs and assistance to Guam families. Now, the administration, meanwhile, maintaining that the island is on the way to lifting some of the governor's pandemic restrictions. They said if COVID numbers remain low and the island remains at a low risk, April 19th is the day the mask mandate would be lifted for outdoor public settings. Early May is when they're looking for the possible lifting of the indoor mask requirement. Well, Guam Visitors Bureau President Governor Carl Gutierrez on Thursday hurled a new round of accusations against his own agency's board, including allegations that their decisions involving the marketing budget for Taiwan were politically motivated. The Guam Daily Post reported that the charges came after GVB's board held a 2-hour executive session on Thursday with its legal counsel to discuss Gutierrez's first round of accusations against the board 3 weeks ago. Gutierrez previously accused the board members of violating the open government law by meeting in private and of being unethical for voting on programs that benefit their businesses. It was yesterday that the board emerged from the executive session, which didn't include Gutierrez. Members voted to approve a motion for GVB's official travel to Japan to meet with airline and tourism partners. But a motion to approve a third-quarter marketing budget of over $400,000 for Taiwan failed to muster enough votes to pass. Gutierrez then charging it that it's a political thing against Taiwan. That full story in today's Guam Daily Post. We'll have more news right after this.
Technology is the great connector. It puts songs in your pocket, connects long-lost friends, and has made the world easier, faster, and smarter. And now, First Hawaiian Bank's new mobile app can help you do the same with your money. Whether you want real-time financial tracking with MoneyMap or tailored advice on your personal finances with daily insights, we're giving you the power to connect to your finances from anywhere, like never before. First Hawaiian Bank. It all starts with yes. Equal housing lender, member FDIC.
It was 2 weeks of deliberations, and finally the jurors in the Rudy Kanata trial have come back with a verdict of guilty on charges of murder. Kanata is charged with killing former Umatic Mayor Daniel Sanchez. Earlier, his girlfriend, Joyner Sked, was convicted of those charges as well. Now, the jury, however, was unable to reach a decision on the charge of aggravated assault and special allegation of possession or use of a deadly weapon in the commission of a felony. The prosecutor, Lenny Rapadas, did say that he intends to pursue those charges against Kanata at another trial. Sentencing for both Sked and Kanata are to take place at a later date. And the result of an FBI test on DNA evidence has led to investigators making an arrest in a case that happened in 2019. The case involved a 13-year-old girl who alleged she was raped in Dededo. 40-year-old Jesse James was charged with numerous counts of criminal sexual conduct, kidnapping, and terrorizing. He's now being held on $100,000 cash bail. And police have confirmed that the missing lady who was reported missing since Tuesday in Mauricio has been discovered. The 81-year-old said to be in good condition this morning and is at home today. And families and children invited to Adelup this weekend for an Easter egg hunt. This is for children who are ages 12 and under. Prizes will be awarded to those who capture the golden egg, silver egg, and most eggs on each division. Participants must bring their own baskets, and those who are aged 2 and above will have to wear a mask in order to participate. And those are your top stories here on The Point. Here's Ray with your weather.
Yeah, I don't know. Ken Leon Guerrero said this, and apparently that means that them hosting the Easter egg hunt on Saturday means that the public health emergency is going to be extended another 100 days in the very least, because it's going to have all these super spreader events, all these little kids getting together, touching each other with their COVID boogers, right? And wrestling, doing their jiu-jitsu for the golden and the silver and the bronze eggs. They have to wear the mask, right, Ray? Yes, they have to wear masks. They have to wear a mask and diapers. Should wear. Just for everyone's safety, for heaven's sakes. Don't you care about your loved ones, Real Joe? It's 7:12 in the morning. Here it comes. The weather for today. Mostly cloudy skies. Highs near 86 degrees with a heat index. It'll feel like 92. Mostly cloudy again in the forecast. A little bit windy, but 21-mile-an-hour gust today. We got winds out of the southeast, 5 to 10 miles an hour tonight. Scattered showers and thunderstorms in today's forecast. For tomorrow, mostly cloudy during the day, mostly cloudy during the afternoon. But they are predicting that we will be back in mostly sunny sunny skies on Easter Sunday. So I'm thinking beach, I'm thinking, Easter egg, I'm thinking, early morning breakfast or something like that, and then just get out there and enjoy all of the sunshine that God's going to be sending down to you. Sunset tonight at 6:34, sunrise this morning at 6:08. Some incredible sunrise pictures, and I hope you don't mind to share them with you over the next couple of minutes. We got these that came in. Where did this come from? A friend of mine that I know somebody's going to be staying in a hotel. They got a staycation going on.
Oh, nice.
And we've got the view of sunrise coming up from out one side of the Nico Hotel and down the other. So we got that one there, and then there's this one here. And well, look at that. Crepuscular. I can't remember how to say it anymore. It's got the rays. It's got those little Easter Sunday. Crepuscular rays.
Yes, you got it,
I
man.
think I might have gotten it that time. But anyway, so you get those beautiful, it's like Jesus is in the clouds and sending out his Jesus lights on Good Friday. Yes. We're going to use that thing all morning, aren't we? I think I've got some from Pirates Cove as well.
Good
Stand by.
Friday.
I'll get those on while the commercials are playing. Ray Gibson Show continues in a moment.
For the freshest deal around, check out the Make Your Own Salad Special at Ruby Tuesday, Guam. From now until April 15th, you can serve yourself at their Fresh Garden Bar for just $8.99. And you can build up your plate with an add-on of grilled chicken breast or grilled salmon fillet for just $3.99 more. It's a fresh deal at Ruby Tuesday, Guam.
Attention! Lolita Kamet is now with Hoffaday Realty. She'll always be that hardworking and passionate real estate professional who is committed to helping you make a difference in your life and helping you achieve the American dream of home ownership. She also specializes in commercial leasing, land sales, local residential sales leasing, military and corporate relocation. So for all your real estate needs, call Lolita Kamet now with Hoffaday Realty at 688-6743. That's 688-6743.
I just you didn't hear what Mona just said, but I'm just gonna highlight a fact here that most people should know. She's evil. She looks sweet and everything. If they put her thing on her, look, she's all sweet. Academy. Evil. But it's okay. 7:15 in the morning. Portions of the program brought to you by my friends over at American President Lines APL, a global presence with a local home. And where are they right now? I've actually got from our buddy aboard the Herodote. He actually sent me some videos of what they're into right now. This is video of the sea just off Fukuoka in Japan. Big ship town that they've got down there, and it looks a little bit stormy on the outside. And I just cannot imagine.
A little choppy.
Little choppy. Yeah. Fellas, it's too rough to feed you. You remember the song, Edmund Fitzgerald? But they're out there taking care of shipping and all kinds of other stuff. 7:15 in the morning. Ray Gibson Show also brought to you by my friends over at Subway. The latest and greatest Eat Fresh Refresh is going on. Fresh melts with the fresh baked bread, your favorite meats topped with a triple load of cheese, all toasted to a warm, gooey perfection. Like the legislature, just gooey perfection. Try the ham and cheese melt, tuna melt, and steak and cheese melt to get started. You got a favorite sandwich over at the Subway? I'm a BMT guy. I can get that fresh melted as well. You should give it a shot at Subway. Eat fresh.
News to fill your mind. Talk to get it out. The Ray Gibson Show. Call now, 888-8255.
Oh, yeah. Team Point online here this morning. Dave Dinsman, Joanne Fullerton, George Cabrera, Damon Kaufman, the mom of the program. She says, that makes me sound so old. No, but we mean that in the most, I don't know.
How about the hot sister of the program?
Hey.
Let's do that.
Okay, hot sister of the program. I got Rose Pacini's there, Lady D online, Oliver Malakas, Cameron Mendiola is hanging out, Tia Pacencia, Lou K, Marjon Conception is on, Chris Gathers, Juanita Tomasa, Maria Rojas says, so basically those senators voted for no transparency and accountability. Maria, are you surprised? Is anybody surprised here? I'm just a little surprised that Therese Terlai, left the fold. She was one of the co-sponsors of the original resolution, was she not?
The whole reason I watch.
That was the
She's the whole reason I watched the thing, Ray.
The hot sister of the legislature.
Yes, the hot sister of
Janet Cruz is there. Millie Lujan of Fison watching from the free zone. Good to hear you. Good to see you there, baby. I saw Lola out running yesterday. Your family, just the most incredible, gorgeous women in there. Martin Mendoza is there. Chung Lee is online. Let me see. Maria Rojas, nothing but greedy, selfish crooks with a sick agenda. Yeah, a little salty with our response on the legislature this morning. Big Sister Shelley online, missing everybody, but be home soon in time for a gathering on Easter morning. Let me see. Benidoso Tautau. And Guam is in a sick twilight zone. I have heard almost nothing about COVID, deaths, etc. Live your lives. Get them the blank out. Oliver Malakas saying good morning to everybody. So is Nick Perlowski, Doris, Doug Mitchell, Ollie Malakas, and Marie. Okay, all right. A lot of conversations going on here for sure, but we got to get into this conversation. Not a lot of time. It's Easter Sunday. No, it's not. It's Good Friday, Easter Sunday on the way, and busy, busy, busy. Chris Duenas. Chris, what the hell happened at the legislature? What happened there, buddy? But for whatever it is, we got paperwork coming out of the progressive Democrats are making fun of the minority this morning. Chris, what happened?
Up a day, Ray, Senator Mana, and Real Joe. What happened? What?
Man, I got Julian Jensen walking the block like the big rooster. I wanted to say something else, but like the big rooster here over the Democratic Caucus's victory for working families.
I think the victory here was we demonstrated that this big public health emergency at this point is about power, control, and money. No transparency, no accountability. And that was clearly demonstrated by the panel. Anybody who could stomach watching that whole thing saw right there on display a complete, utter resistance and a complete lining up and absolute fear of the governor. I think the Democrats have finally defined themselves as being absolutely terrified of this administration and will do nothing to step out of line, and that's exactly what was demonstrated.
But
Ray,
what is the governor? What is the governor holding over the majority?
I got no idea. But from the beginning, this demonstration yesterday was a mirror image of what they tried to do almost now 2 weeks ago. This was from let's use this term from the get-go. This was designed that there was no way any Democrat was going to vote for this resolution. And that's why they tried to do it in the dark of night on Friday to try to get rid of it. They did not want the committee of the whole. They did not want that full display of Ray, there was absolutely nothing put on the record yesterday that shows that we need to be in this public health emergency.
Wait. Hold on. I just want to breaking news here. I feel so special. Julian Jensen is online on Facebook Live here this morning. Says Senator Duenas keeping his lies alive. Whew! I'm feeling, it's Good Friday, bro. Easy. Take it easy. You already won there, Julian. It's okay. But anyway, I hear what you're saying, Chris, but we'd seen that already, and I was kind of hoping that, and I knew my hopes were dashed as I was hearing from among the very first on the panel that couldn't show any paperwork to you. And I thought your response was about dead on when you said, you knew I was going to be asking for this. Why didn't you bring it with you? Well, I got to circle around on that and see if I can get the documentation that you seek between the guys over at Public Health, Department of Administration, Homeland Security, Civil Defense. I mean, everybody knew what they were there for and what you would be asking. And none of them were able to produce any of the documentation to back up what Adelup was saying.
And then we had a long lunch break. And I figured, this paperwork's probably coming out, afterwards. I asked the same question after the lunch break. No, still don't got that. So, let's just call it for what it is. I mean, it was demonstrated over and over again by all of the materials that I read from the congressional record, the map of the state to our auto public health emergency that it had carve-outs for what they needed to do on some of their particular programs. And just ran the whole gamut. You should have seen, Ray, and I'm going to tell you this because I know this is probably one of the things you're thinking. Why do these guys do this? In the termination of public health emergency, I went over and worked with legal counsel, and they said you can make an amendment to make it time certain because it says at any time. So to be clear, in that section of the termination, it says at any time, which basically leaves it open-ended. So we were able to put and even the Attorney General opined that there's nothing in the law that says it has to be like right now if you pass it or nothing. And so we were very correct on the amendment. But the amendments, and you know your politics, Ray. The amendments were designed to show that they were not going to move 1 inch from the fact that they were never going to vote for that resolution. And the purpose of the amendments was to say, well, if you need the time for the governor and to prepare for the next emergency on carve-outs, then here we'll give you 2 weeks. And May 2nd is the time for the what do you call that, for the situation where it needs to be renewed anyway. And then going out to June, the only reason why that was moved is that public health kept saying no, we need 30 days because the 30-day application is something that has to be applied here. And so, okay, fine, we'll even go that far. Just to know that this thing would definitely end at the time certain. You should have seen the look on their faces and the phones blowing up like, absolutely not. Do not move. This has to die, guaranteed. The fix was in.
The fix was in.
Never going to pass, Ray.
Well, I didn't think so. Are we done with this? Is it dead stick at this time? Are we just going to finish, between here and August and call it what it is? This is Lou's legislature.
It's Lou's legislature for the majority, Ray. But I think we finally have proven that the minority, when push comes to shove, can unite around issues that we can show that we are for transparency, that we are for accountability, that we are for checks and balances. I think that was absolutely demonstrated yesterday because we even tried to say, hey, let's give them a little bit more time and we'll go in on Monday. And it was like, nope, we're doing this tonight and you don't have the votes and we're going to force this down your throat. And that's what happened.
All right. Well, as I said, people wondering then what did we learn from all of this and what difference does it make at the end of the day? It's not going to lift the mask mandate anytime sooner. It's not going to get us out from under this public health emergency anytime sooner. So anybody that is lined up with the majority at this point is facing some severe disappointment. Then, of course, you got the cackling coming from the Progressives, the Democrat Party of Guam, and even the governor's office in their statements. So we've taken some of that apart already. Might do some more before the morning is done. 7:24. Thanks. I appreciate you trying.
Absolutely. Blessed, Good Friday to everyone and a happy Easter to you and all of the family. And we will celebrate Jesus' resurrection and Savior of our sins and our souls and move on from there. All
right. I'll talk to you pretty soon, Chris. You have a great weekend as well. Happy Easter to you and the family. 7:25 in the morning in the Ray Gibson Show. Lots and lots going on the economic scene. We'll think about some of those things in just a second. But first, I got to say good morning to Jerry Roberts. Happy Good Friday to you, Jerry. I think it was you in the old Batman era that coined the phrase, every Friday is a good Friday. Could have been. Jerry Roberts in the studio got extra point coming up. Big story on the financial scene that I was looking at with a great degree of buddy this morning. Elon Musk wants to buy Twitter.
He went down into that couch between the cushions, and he found $43 billion.
And
him, that is pocket change, coffee money. And he wants it all. Yeah.
That's amazing to me. I'm digging that. And all of a sudden, all the libbies of Twitter, their heads are exploding right now. You remember when it said we banned Donald Trump, and everybody complains we banned Donald Trump. Well, Twitter's a private company; they can do whatever they want to. Well, what happens when it's owned by somebody like Elon Musk, a straight, rich white guy that nobody can control?
No. You see, the rules
change. But it's a private business, Jerry. Elon Musk should be able to do what he wants.
He's straight.
Hey, Joe, did the letter come in about sending Ray to one of these camps?
Yes.
To kind of
the Julian Jensen re-education camp.
Re-education camp.
Yes.
Has that ticket come in yet for him?
Yes, the testosterone building camp.
Wait a second, because there's a whole thing going on here on the Facebook Live that's actually far more interesting than what we're talking about right now. Maria wants me to ban Jensen like he's done to me, but we're better people. We don't ban free speech. speech. You're absolutely right, Maria Rojas. There won't be any banning today on the Ray Gibson Show. There'll be none of that. Say what you want to, Jensen. I'm curious as to what you've got to say in addition to referring to Chris Duenas as lying on the radio again. But I will appreciate some of the other comments that folks make to you and about you on the Facebook Live this morning. 727. Jerry Roberts has got the extra point now being brought to you by our friends over at First Hawaiian Bank. Make it a good one. It's got to go till Monday.
When he talks, people listen. When he promotes a product or service, people buy. When he puts his wealth up against the powerful forces who silence opposing opinion, some shudder while others cheer. Today, 21 quotes on life and work from Elon Musk. And that's next on The Extra Point.
This is the sound of connecting with nature, connecting to each other, and the sound of connecting with your finances. With First Hawaiian Bank's new mobile app, you have the power to connect with your finances like never before. With real-time tracking on your financial goals and tailored updates on your accounts, First Hawaiian Bank is putting the power of connection at your fingertips. First Hawaiian Bank, Equal Housing Lender, member FDIC.
Elon Musk is the richest single person on the planet with a current net worth somewhere north of $300 billion. He owns Tesla, SpaceX, and recently took out nearly a 10% share of Twitter. And as Ray mentioned this morning, he's made a bid for 100% of Twitter with a $43 billion offer. He's outspoken, believes in the power of ideas, and believes in free speech for all, which places him at odds with former Twitter CEO Jack Dorsey, former Amazon CEO and owner of the Washington Post Jeff Bezos, and the CEO of Facebook, now Meta, Mark Zuckerberg. Those three are also billionaires, but don't share Musk's belief that free speech also includes the voices you don't like. Here are 21 quotations attributed to Musk. I hope you get value from them, as I have. Number one, when something is important enough, you do it, even if the odds are not in your favor. Two, some people don't like change, but you need to embrace change if the alternative is disaster. Wonder if anybody in the government might want to just write that one down. Failure is an option here. This is number three. Failure is an option here. If things are not failing, you are not innovating enough. Four, it's okay to have your eggs in one basket as long as you control what happens to that basket. Number five, it is a mistake to hire huge numbers of people to get a complicated job done. Numbers will never compensate for talent in getting the right answer. Here's six. People work better when they know what the goal is and why. It is important that people look forward to coming to work in the morning and enjoy working. Number 7 on the 21 list of quotes from Elon Musk. My biggest mistake is probably weighing too much on someone's talent and not their personality. I think it matters whether someone has a good heart. 8, I don't believe in process. In fact, when I interview a potential employee and he or she says that it's all about the process, I see that as a bad sign. The problem is that at a lot of big companies, process becomes a substitute for thinking. You're encouraged to behave like a little gear in a complex machine. Frankly, it allows you to keep people who aren't that smart, who aren't that creative. Number 9, really pay attention to negative feedback and solicit it, particularly from friends. Hardly anyone does that, and it's incredibly helpful. Number 10, if you get up in the morning and think the future is going to be bright and going to be better, it's going to be a good day. Otherwise, it's not. Number 11, you shouldn't do things differently just because they're different. They need to be better. 12, I would just question things. It would infuriate my parents that I wouldn't just believe them when they said something. And then I'd consider whether their response made sense given everything else I knew. 13, we have a strict no jerks policy at SpaceX. He didn't use the word jerks. 14, your will is the most accurate way to predict the future. One more time. Your will is the most accurate way to predict the future. Here's 15. I think it is possible for ordinary people to choose to be extraordinary. 16. Don't confuse schooling with education. I didn't go to Harvard, but people who work for me did. Oh, man. 17. If the rules are such that you can't make progress, then you have to fight the rules. 18. Frankly, I think most people can learn a lot more than they think they can. They sell themselves short without trying. 19. If you need inspiring words, don't do it. 20. Good ideas are always crazy, right up until the moment they are not. 21. Talking about his companies. There are easier places to work, but nobody ever changed the world on 40 hours a week. Words from Elon Musk. That's the extra point. Be responsible and make something good happen today. For 93.3, The Ray Gibson Show and First Hawaiian Bank, I'm Jerry Roberts.
Got to leave that here. I'm getting somebody's actually writing in and says how much they like number 14. Number 14, again, is your will is the most accurate way to predict the future. We'll put an amen on that and say thank you very much. I love Quote Fridays,
yes, sir.
And I love it when they're as timely as this one here, because a lot of people are talking about Elon Musk. And I think there's a lot of people today that maybe will think about taking that kind of chance and making those kinds of disruptive moves. Yeah, and if that's you, the Guam Election Commission has your paperwork ready to pick up today.
That's right.
7:33 in the morning, Jerry Roberts in the Extra Point. Now time for news and headlines with Montesilva Tyron, being brought to you here by Auntie Lolita Kemet, now with Hoffaday Realty. Principal broker Joe D. Duane, standing by to make your Easter dreams come true. 688-6743. Also being brought to you by the team over at Burger King, celebrating 33 years with the new Whopper Melts. Now, they're only going to be around for a limited time. I had the spicy one. I want to call it, instead of pickles, they put jalapenos in there, and it's a nice spicy crunch that you get yourself into. We got cheese, we got double Whopper meals, meat inside. It's so good. You got to try it at the drive-thru at some point this weekend. Make sure you promise me that. We're just 7:34 now with news and headlines. Here's Montesilva Tyron.
Well, it was a long day of back and forth with members of the administration and the legislature, but that legislative resolution that would have canceled the governor's public health emergency, it did fail. Lawmakers spent hours discussing the health emergency and the ramifications should that emergency be terminated. As we've reported, the administration has been opposed to the canceling of the public health emergency, saying it would jeopardize millions of dollars in federal pandemic aid. Meanwhile, it was a guilty verdict that came back out of after 2 weeks of deliberation. This and the Rudy Kanata trial over at the Superior Court. Kanata charged with the brutal killing of Pneumatic Mayor Daniel Sanchez a year ago. The jury, however, was unable to reach a decision on the charge of aggravated assault and a special use of a deadly weapon in the commission of a felony. The AG says that they will pursue those charges in another trial. And those are your headlines right here on The Point.
So let me see if I get this. So they bring everybody over to the legislature. Here's the panel. We couldn't possibly end the public health emergency without jeopardizing everybody's life. There'll be hundreds and millions of people that are going to be taking off their SNAP benefits program and all of this stuff. All of our access to the guard and nurses, flying in nurses or whatever. So we couldn't possibly do this without some time. So the Republicans came up with an amendment that said, okay, we'll do this later. And then the members of the legislature said, well, then what's the emergency? What's the rush? Am I encapsulating all of this together here?
Yeah.
The strategic moves that were put in place. It doesn't matter what the minority did. It was going to be wrong.
The bells were all being rung last week saying, oh, we need to do this now. We need to do this now. Get this public health emergency canceled. And then the discussion turned to, well, let's go push it back until May. Let's push it back even further until June. And so Clint's argument was, okay, so then why are we here? Why couldn't we just do this in the next session, which is scheduled for next week? Why did we have to come during Holy Week.
Well, because they didn't know when they scheduled the quote special session. They didn't know when
a special session.
They didn't know
no wire hangers.
that they were going to need to do this and then have at least one more application made. So they didn't know that when they acknowledged that maybe it would be a good idea if they did. All of a sudden, then that nullified the emergency. But again, I can see what's happening here. No answer was going to be correct from the minority at all of this. And the guys that strategically took advantage of the numbers. 7:36 in the morning. Hey, is that Bunker? Bunker's on the phone.
It is Bunker.
That's our guy.
Bunker.
Hopefully.
Viva Bunker.
Viva.
Oh, he's listening online. So it'll be another 10 seconds before he realizes we're talking to him. Bunker, are you there? Come in, Bunker.
Off a day. Good morning.
Viva.
Morning, Mana.
It's long distance from a lesser.
Hey.
Wait, let me shut that off.
Yeah. Go ahead. Turn that thing off and then get back on, and we'll talk about
Can you hear me now?
I hear you loud and proud. 5x5 lay.
I got you the same. How you doing?
We're doing okay. Are you running for governor, lieutenant governor?
I thought about running for governor. Actually had the packet in front of me.
No way.
That would be silly, so I decided to be real and try again as a senator.
You know what? You and I had the opportunity to talk a couple of protests ago, and I really appreciated meeting up with you and learning more about you. And my other thing is your admiration for Mana. I appreciate that. She doesn't have a lot of friends, so it's good. I'm just kidding.
He's not just friend. He's family.
Yeah. Either, but the ones that like me are smart.
That's right. Well, tell you what, and I was talking about Elon Musk, and I want to bring you into that same fold because I want you to be in there. I want you and your unique voice and your unique thinking to be a part of the next legislature, because we've got to disrupt the system. We cannot have another decade. We can't have another session of the same kind of thinking over and over and over again, where you got regular people that are living and dying and working on Guam, and they got to go paycheck to paycheck. And then at the legislature, we got somebody crying because he's got to work in Holy Week.
Yeah, I agree that we have to change the flavor. We've been talking about salt and pepper every year. We come up to the election.
Time for something different, time for something different. So,
so I wanted to talk about this resolution and all the him and ha and brouhaha, right?
Go ahead.
Everybody wants to get back to normalcy. I mean, whatever that is from here on out. We're already used to everything that's going on. We've been following. I'm still negative. I have not contracted COVID because I followed everything I was asked as of my civic duty, and I paid attention. But let's move forward, because we keep talking about salt and pepper and all these people performing wrong or doing bad things, and our incumbents, our leaders. Let's talk about solutions. That's why I stepped out of my comfort zone, because I bring to the table raw. I wasn't groomed to be a senator or a governor or, but I've come out of my comfort zone because it's time for change, and the time for change is now.
Let's do it.
So moving forward on this bill that they tried, this resolution, I think, pointing fingers about this and that is not the solution. I think agree to disagree and find the solution. These people got to stop bickering, because it's about us, everybody, the entire island. We're all in this together, and we can't have people fight for what's in our best interest and not even come up with a solution. It doesn't make any sense.
Well, what do you want to do? What would you do if you were senator? How would you have handled that?
Well, first, I won't argue with them over semantics or antics. I've never had to handle COVID or an emergency pandemic crisis, my brother, so unless, I'm faced with it, then I'll have a solution. But the governor did her best following a pandemic, but my problem with the advisory board is a radiologist advising the governor about a virus. He takes x-rays. What did he spend his life on studying infections and viruses? Probably not.
Expert.
But he wears a white coat, so he's smart. He knows what he's doing. I don't know.
Let's go. We'll go buy white coats. Where do they sell that? Which Bic sells the white coats?
I
No, but to his credit, though, I mean, in order to be a radiologist, you do have to go through that extensive medical school. So that I'm very certain that he's got
a smart
some,
guy.
Yeah, he's got some knowledge.
But I think the issue comes down to
and he's got the credentials to make that determination.
To what degree? What's the percentage of how much influence the Physicians Advisory Group has on something like this? You've got Physicians Advisory Group. You got the people over the Department of Public Health and Social Services. You got the fact that the governor herself is a nurse and has a medical background. So that's a whole lot moving influence in one direction or another that might be ignoring some of the other things that we're seeing in the community and issues that we've got to get out from under us. And you live in the real world, Bunker, so you know what it's like on the street. We got the second millennials out there. We've got all kinds of wives that get beat up and kids are getting abused. Oh my God! Have you seen the number of infant abuse cases that we've got? 1, 2 inside of a week, and everybody going, what the hell is going on Guam? And everybody else is running around, like everything is all right. Where's my child? Where's my next opportunity to cha-cha slide? Those are some of the issues that I got. 7:42. I gotta break away, Migo. I'll talk to you pretty soon.
Okay. Come. Biba Bunker. Believe in Bunker again.
Believe it. Okay, Biba, I'll talk to you later. There's our friend Frank Meno. You can also chat with him online and on Facebook Live. He's out there. I don't know if they've completely chewed up on what's his name, Julian Jensen, that came in for a special Facebook Live appearance.
Thanks for listening and watching, sir.
It's always good. It's always good to have you online. Well, because I think he knew that I would read his thing from the Democratic or the Progressive, whatever. Where's the Progressive Republican Party? Wait a second. Here's a question. Where's the Republican Party, period? The only one that we've heard from here this morning was Chris Duenas, called up to take his licks and explain from his perspective what the hell went wrong at the legislature yesterday on 291. I put it down to usual bamboozlement, but in this case, I think they wanted to be bamboozled. Please bamboozle us. And throw all kinds of numbers and data at us, and give us your thoughts so that we may go through this process here with as little damage to our political reputations as possible. I'll see if I can undo that in a couple of minutes. It's 7:43 in the morning. When we return, a couple of things from the recording of yesterday, and Mana had to suffer through it, so you do too. And then while the commercials are playing, I got this from Sarah Lake. I was originally talking about my chicken finger things that I get from KFC for dinner last night with Michelle Armenta's honey on it. So good. And Sarah Lake sent me this. I got to find which pizza place makes this.
Is that chicken and waffles, Ray?
There's chicken and waffles on a pizza.
How dare they?
Chicken and
they
waffles
get mad at me
with
for putting
syrup.
pineapples.
With syrup on a pizza.
Good.
I know. It does kind of look good, too. Doesn't it? Sweet, savory on a pizza dough. I'm digging it. 7:44 in the morning. You make it, I'll eat it. It's the Ray Gibson Show. Be right back.
Family Finance has been serving the people of Guam since 1959, and they will continue to be there for you in the years to come. Get a personal loan for that summer vacation or to pay off those long overdue bills. Family Finance has got you covered. Apply for a personal loan from $1,000 up to $3,900 by calling Family Finance in Hagåtña, now at the old Nanbo Insurance Building at 475-4545, Upper Tumon 647-5626, or in Dededo 633-4473. Family Finance, here to serve you.
In celebration of our 33rd anniversary, BK's new Whopper Melts are here. Our Whopper Melts feature 2 slices of toasted bread layered with 2 Whopper Junior patties for a quarter pound of flame grilled beef, melty American cheese, caramelized onions, and stacker sauce. Whopper Melts now available in a spicy and bacony variation made for our big Whopper fans. Top off your meal with jalapeno cheddar bites and a refreshing Coca-Cola. Get your hands on the new Whopper Melts, now available for a limited time. BK, Tumon Bay, Hagåtña, Micronesia Mall, and the airport. BK, your way.
7:45, Ray Gibson Show. Here it comes, the traffic. Not a whole lot going on today. School's been out. It's Good Friday. Everybody's got something else working besides work today, so I don't think we're going to see a whole lot of traffic. Maybe around the churches. Maybe going to see some traffic around places where you can buy food. We think there's going to be a run on meat here today with everybody going off their Lenten sacrifices. So be on the lookout for all of that. Got a little bit of traffic over at 16 and Route 16 and 10 Alpha, 8, 10, and 16 running clear right now. Not a whole lot happening on Route 8 into town. Not a whole lot happening on Route 4 into town as well. Getting into the downtown to Gatineau area, 1 and 4 looks like that intersection is running a little bit busy this morning. Oddly enough, it looks like we've got some strange traffic that's growing up at over at the Joint Region, Marianas, up there on the Nimitz Hill place. What's going on? Is the Admiral throwing a party?
Yeah.
The Admiral's throwing an Easter
Lots
party.
of joints, right?
Yeah, no. Cupcakes. It's cupcake. It's the Admirals. It's Rainbow Cupcakes Day at the Joint Region. What do we got here? A little bit of traffic getting into Big Navy and Sumai. 746. There you go. Right now, traffic here on The Point.
Is your business ready for digital transformation? The latest Wi-Fi technology is here, and it's Docomo Pacific's WorkPass, powered by Plume. WorkPass unlocks connectivity, productivity, and security tools all in the palm of your hand. Access features like adaptive Wi-Fi, guest and employee networks, evolving AI security, plus so much more. To learn more about WorkPass, visit business.docomopacific.com. Docomo Pacific Business. Work better together.
Back at it again with the Lenten season menu with Mezcla. Giving you a variety of food you can enjoy and pick from, like the fish tacos, spicy buttered shrimp, parrotfish escabeche, lobster pad capral pasta, crab-crusted Chilean sea bass, and more. There you have options. Offered at Hagatna location for lunch and dinner only at Mezcla. For reservations, call 671-479-2652. What are you waiting for? Let's go celebrate the Lenten season with Mezcla.
Bow. Sup? How's it going? 7:47 in the morning. Are you traveling anytime soon? I was scolded the other night by former Governor Carl T.C. Gutierrez, and he said, "Doggone it, Ray, stop screwing around. Get yourself vaccinated." And then maybe you can come with us on some of these trips to our source destinations, and do a live show from there and things like that. And I'm like, dude, I don't know. Is that a strong enough reason for me to get vaccinated and boosted if I wanted to go to Japan?
No, just get tested, man.
And then there's the other thing. He was talking about how long they are anticipating it to take to get out of the airport, to just get out of the airport. Where you arrive in Narita, and I don't care if you arrived and you're boosted and vaccinated, somebody's still going to want to give you a test. And he said that they were, and a lot of bowing. Lots of bowing. And they said, oh, yeah, we're going to, what's going to happen is we got to do this, and there's going to be tests. It'll take hours before everybody is out of the airport. Now, screw that. No, thank you very much. Not inclined to do that. And I'm glad I'm not traveling. We know people that are. Big sister Shelly's traveling. Mayumi's traveling with the mom. So everybody's like, wow, what else? Is it bad? Is it bad everywhere? A guy named Javier David, is a journalist, was trying to get down from John F. Kennedy Airport to Fort Lauderdale because spring break, right? So he thought he was going to outsmart the crowds by booking a 6:30 in the morning flight. He gets to the airport. The place is absolutely jammed. Worse than Thanksgiving. Worker shortages added to the travel havoc. He ended up spending 7 hours at the airport. He still didn't get on the airplane. He took an Uber home, comes back the next day for a flight that was scheduled to leave at 9:30. It wasn't wheels up until midnight. That's what people are enduring right now, and it's not going to get better anytime sooner. It's not. They say this is going to be what it looks like until the end of summer. So if you think that you might be able to talk me into getting on an airplane and going somewhere for blanks and grins, I don't think so. 7:49 in the morning. There's a story that we have been talking about. Bob Klitsky spent a lot of time on it yesterday, and it has gone national, maybe international. It's hit the wire. Story here. A high school rugby league is under fire after a transgender female athlete allegedly injured 3 biological female players during a Saturday match. A biological male identifying and playing as a female on Guam High School's rugby team, what Bob is referring to as Woke High, injured 3 biological female players from Teedson High School during Saturday's season opening match. That's according to Teedson High School coach Conrad Kerber. The transgender athlete's, quote, body size, body strength, and completely dominates any girl that I have on my team, he said in a report. The aggressive nature that was witnessed clearly showed that it's a definite issue that we have to deal with. I have 3 players that were injured in the first game against Guam High directly by that particular player. Goes on a little bit more, but this comes to us from a national Washington Examiner, as in Washington State. So if it's at the Washington State, no doubt it's being picked up by everybody else in the network. So if you keep an eye out, and I'm sure that we will see more of our Guam transgender transgender athlete story getting picked up across the mainstream media. 10 away from the top of the hour. One of the guys who might have an opinion or two on the subject is Brother Pat Lujan from GSPN. Hey, buenos on Alpha Day, and happy Easter to you and the girls.
Hey, happy Easter to you. How are you?
Groovy, bro. I'm just, best life ever. Got Real Joe dialing the phone. Got Montecillo Tyrant handling my news.
That's the crew right there.
That's it. That's it. Doesn't get any better. And nobody's getting hired by PBS. Nobody's getting hired by PBS for their new news show.
I think you're on you got to check your spam email.
She won't even tell me if she's running, bud. Anyway, so we've got an interesting story and a number of interesting takes, including at least one athlete from another school that said, I hope they leave her alone and let her play. Look, it's rugby. It's a knockdown, bang-head sport, and people are going to get hurt. What difference does it make whether you're a boy or a girl?
Yeah, really over the weekend, being in this sports media business for over 30 years, I get all kinds of calls and messages about topics around Guam sports scene, and this one in particular was very intriguing. Knowing the safety issue with it, and we've done safety issue stories in the past, whether it's the lack of lighting, whether it's field conditions, whether it's lack of referees and officials. So those are always concerning. This just so happens to be that a transgender athlete was taking part and causing injury to the opposing teams. And of course, with the strong code of ethics on the journalism side, you have to get all sides of the story and who's going to come out, because you and I both know that we can probably write a book code off the record, right? With people that just have so much information.
Every daily show. Hey, do me a favor. You're coming in and out louder and then soft and loud and soft. I'm not sure exactly why. Maybe your fingers in front of the microphone or something weird with the Bluetooth. But make a quick adjustment.
All right.
Yeah.
How's this?
Much better. Much better. Just I hear what you're saying now. A little bit more. Clue me in a little bit more on the quote off the record stuff that you are hearing. What can you say?
So in particular with this situation, right? It boiled down to the injuries, and what had happened was the opposing team. So on a regular afternoon for rugby, you don't play just one match; you play multiple matches. So in particular, Guam High played 3 matches, so against 3 different teams. All 3 teams were not aware of an opposing athlete that's going to be on the field. And talking to some parents, and they're like, man, if I knew that, I wouldn't put my daughter out there, in harm's way. And I said, well, would it make a difference if the athlete was 4'11", 98 pounds male? And they're like, no, it doesn't make a difference. If a male is a male, you put a 4'11", 98 pound male against a 4'11", 98 pound female, and there's still a difference in power and strength and whatnot. So we are very careful in this situation, not identifying who the person is, the athlete, because it's not about that. It's about the safety issue. Up to now, I still don't know who the athlete is. But man, just the feedback, and I knew it was going to be a sensitive issue, but sometimes things get overboard. I was accused of persecution, and I was like, wait a minute, you don't understand.
Nobody that I'm aware of. Nobody. There are a couple of bones that you can make on this. One of them is it's a boy playing against girls in a full contact sport. And their injuries are already built into this sport. How much worse are they going to be, especially when you consider the size and the weight that is behind this individual? And then you've got the whole LGBTQ plus transgenderism, gender identity issue that gets thrown into this. So it makes it. I want to say one of those. It's black and white. This is a black and white conversation, and the black and white of it is that we've got a full contact sport with girls that should be playing full contact against other girls, and all of a sudden we've got somebody that is a biological male in there, and you just can't do that. I don't think it's right. I don't think it's fair to any of the biological girls that are playing on all of the teams when all of this is looked at. Now I'm also told that there is it might be the same person, but I'm also told that there is a transgender athlete. There's a guy identifying as a girl that wants to be in the girls' wrestling.
I think that's the same person.
All right, so it's the same person. So a number of sports that this person is going to be able to dominate simply because he was born a guy, now identifying as a girl to play in these sports.
In that case, nobody matched up against her or him. So, that was almost irrelevant because there was no competitors that were willing or able to go up against that.
Well, who would?
Yeah, exactly.
Who would? I mean, I wouldn't call Djokovic and say, let's play tennis. I'll bet I can kick your butt. It ain't going to happen. So, I mean, the smart girls were the ones that said, hey, I'm just not going to play.
Yeah, I mean, the sensitivity of the issue, it's valid. But when you look at the proof and you look, because there were some videos that were sent to me over the weekend about the aggressiveness and just the sheer physical advantage, you're like, oh my God, he's hurting them. And that's the bottom line of this whole story. Is it is a safety issue. If it didn't come out this week, it's going to come out next week because these teams are probably going to forfeit against Guam High, and then that's going to be a story in and of itself. Why were these teams forfeiting? Oh, because of this situation.
Okay, well, so there's going to be crying over this, I guarantee it. But what I think needs to happen is all of the different leagues that we've got here, and maybe even the federations, need to come out and identify to what degree they will allow transgender athletes in their sports.
Yeah, it's been a topic of discussion this week. I reached out to Paul Claris, who's the head of...
Just now? This should have been a topic of conversation 2 years ago.
Exactly. But, I think they're going to come out with a statement pretty soon. What I feel for is, the rugby community, man, that sport, started from scratch years ago, and they've done such an excellent job building it, not allowing girls tackle rugby until much later. They evolved from flag to tackle, and it's become such a one of the most popular high school sports that we've been covering over the years.
Concur.
So I know that they will be making the right decision.
When they finally get around to doing it. But as I said, I think this is one of those things that everybody needs to have a policy that we all agree on.
Yeah, and it's got to be across the board, not just rugby. So, I'm hearing that there was
well, it's the rugby, track and field association. We got to get the football, and everybody's got to come out one way or the other. I mean, even volleyball. I think there's all of the different sports, all the different associations, IIAG, whatever they're doing over at GDOE. And am I hearing conversation now about another attempt to bring GDOE together with the IIAG?
Well, you're looking at, there's Steve Pangilinan over at FD putting a petition to reunify that. Then talking to other coaches, they just don't like it. You limit the competition. Oh,
my God, what's to like? I looked at Miami's volleyball, her beach volleyball schedule, and she's like, it's like the same four teams playing against each other. In order to fatten up the bracket, they broke the teams into A, B, and C.
Correct. Yeah, and it's getting tough, and even from a media standpoint, it was like, how are we covering both leagues when it doesn't make sense? It was much better when they were combined.
Right. So bottom line on all of this is boys are boys, girls are girls. Boys should not play in girl events. Girls should not play in boy events unless they're recognized co-ed activities, regardless of what you feel like when you wake up in the morning. I mean, it just is what it is, and we've just got to take off these modern day, everything that's popular blinders that we're going to wear, and realize that what's actually happening in sports like this is girls are getting hurt physically, maybe emotionally, maybe this is impacting their dreams for playing rugby down the road somewhere else. I mean, what's the point of doing this in high school if when I go to college and try to play rugby out there, I got to face the same problems?
And we've done well in rugby in the States.
Yep.
So we've got a lot of talent here.
I know it. Brother Pat, I'll talk to you pretty soon. We got to do that cigars and wine thing again.
Right on, brother. Take care.
That's that. Happy Easter to you. Hugging a kiss to everybody. It's 8 o'clock in the morning. Stand by now. Fox News Live is coming up here in just moments. The radio station's KUSG Aganya, 93.3. We are the point.
A Russian fleet sunk. I'm Lisa Lacera, Fox News. Russia with its own explanation for the fate of the prize battleship.
Russia's defense ministry says the missile cruiser Moscow sank in the Black Sea today after it was being hauled to the port in Crimea. They say there was a fire on board, ultimately caused by an ammunition detonation. Though the Ukrainians say they fired 2 missiles, Neptune missiles, yesterday at this vessel, causing it to sink. The back and forth reports come as we're learning more about this ship and what it was used for by the Russian military. Many of the strikes on the port city of Odessa were caused by this ship.
Fox's Trey Inkst in Kyiv. National Security Advisor Jake Sullivan says the U.S. was not able to confirm Ukraine's claims of striking the Russian ship. Still, he called it a big blow to Russia. President Biden in Greensboro, North Carolina this afternoon continued to blame the Russian invasion for rising gas and food prices.
Putin's invasion of Ukraine has driven up gas prices and food prices all over the world. Ukraine and Russia are the 1 and 2 largest wheat producers in the world.
The president says 70% of the increase in inflation is due to the higher price of oil, and he said the high prices need to be addressed. Former White House senior advisor Stephen Miller has appeared virtually before the committee investigating the January 6 riot.
Miller filed a lawsuit last month trying to quash a committee subpoena for his phone records and had resisted previous requests for testimony. His testimony comes weeks after Ivanka Trump and her husband Jared Kushner, both also senior aides in the Trump administration, agreed to hours of testimony with investigators.
Fox's Jared Halpern. On Wall Street, the Dow lost 113, the Nasdaq off 292, the S&P minus 54. America is listening to Fox News.
Half a day. This is Governor Lou Leon Guerrero. Gas prices continue to rise and we are here to help. We have revised Programan Salapi to provide a $300 direct cash assistance payment to most households. We heard your struggle and we hope this relief will help during these difficult times. Applications will be accepted starting Tuesday, March 15, 2022. For more information, visit doa.guam.gov.
This ad is paid for by the Office of the Governor using government funds.
Are you looking for a new place to hang out with your friends? Let's go along the sidelines at Sidelines Bar and Grill. Located at 154 Iriarty Road, Unit 4 and 5 in Tamuning behind Royal Bigs. Sidelines, a hidden gem with nothing but great things to offer. Great atmosphere, great food, top shelf drinks, and a great team. What are we waiting for? Let the fun begin at Sidelines Bar and Grill. Open daily from 3 p.m. to 2 a.m. See you there.
Kentucky's legislature moves to resurrect several controversial bills vetoed by the governor.
Kentucky's General Assembly is overturning vetoes of legislation from Governor Andy Beshear. The legislature is controlled by Republicans. The governor is a Democrat. The most noteworthy might be a bill that dictates only biological females be allowed to play on women's sports teams, not men who transitioned. Beshear called the bill unconstitutional when he refused to sign it, but the legislature has now voted it into law. Kentucky lawmakers overturned 22 of the governor's 24 vetoes. Eben Brown, Fox News.
Florida Governor Ron DeSantis has signed into law a measure that would ban abortions after 15 weeks. The law does not allow for exemptions in cases of rape, incest, or human trafficking. Under current law, Florida allows abortions up to 24 weeks. The U.S. Supreme Court will be deciding the constitutionality of a similar law in Mississippi. Oklahoma just last week banned abortions entirely, except when a mother's life is in peril. Hybrid work and masks, the top searches on Google.
Search interest in work-life balance reaching an all-time high this year, and searches for 4-day workweek jobs more than doubling recently. Why are companies pushing return to office? The top related question Americans have been searching over the past week. Search interest in public transportation mask mandate reaching a record high since the start of the pandemic. CDC extends mask mandate a breakout search, and Google seeing an uptick in searches for travel mask mandate extended. Kristen Goodwin, Fox News.
The Ohio State Supreme Court is deciding whether Netflix and Hulu must pay local governments the same fees as cable operators. Ohio's video service authorization law requires those who use cables and wires in public right-of-ways to pay fees, so many cities feel streamers should also pay. I'm Lee Silasera. This is Fox News.
Half a day. Patsy Gogri from Security Title here with information about what a title company does. The title side of our business determines who owns a property and guarantees your ownership with a title insurance policy. The escrow side acts as an independent third party, managing the transfer of money and documents between the buyer, seller, lenders, and others. Security Title has the management of real estate closings down to a science. Give us a call. We are here to help.
On March 4th, Guam Homeland Security sent an advisory warning about Russian cyber attacks and recommended Guam organizations strengthen their cybersecurity postures. You might think your small business isn't at risk, but as businesses use more cloud and web-based tools, they're exposed to cyber attacks designed to snare victims of any size. Keep your organization protected with GTA's multi-threat security bundle. Visit gta.net or call 671-644-1000 for a free consultation today.
Hey, what did the grilled cheese sandwich say to their date?
What'd they say?
You make me melt.
Oh, so cheesy.
But not as cheesy as Subway's latest Eat Fresh Refresh menu innovation. The new Fresh Melts with 3 times the cheese. Fresh Melts are the cheese lover's holy grail. Fresh Melts combine freshly baked breads and your favorite meats topped with a triple load of cheese. All grilled to warm, toasty perfection. Try the ham and cheese melt, tuna melt, or steak and cheese melt to start. Best of all, you can make any footlong into a fresh melt. At Subway, eat fresh.
Your local news is brought to you by Nambo Insurance. Skip the line, pay online. It's fast, it's easy, and it's secure. Visit Nambo.com for more information.
Off the day, it's 8:06. I'm Ana Silva Tyron with a look at your local news on the point. The legislative resolution intended to end the public health emergency has failed in a vote yesterday at the legislature. Resolution 291 by Senator Chris Duenas was the focus of the day-long discussion in the Committee of the Whole, discussing the health emergency and the potential ramifications should it be terminated. The administration had been opposing the cancellation of the public health emergency, saying it would jeopardize millions of dollars in federal pandemic aid to thousands of Guam families. Following the failed vote, the Democratic Party did thank the Democratic majority, praising their vote against that resolution. The governor's office also chiming in on the legislative action. Acting Governor Josh Tenorio saying that the action allows the continuation of the programs and assistance to Guam families. The administration, meanwhile, maintaining that the island is on track to lifting some of the governor's pandemic restrictions next week if COVID numbers remain low and the island remains low risk. April 19th is the day the mask mandate will be lifted, at least for outdoor public settings. Early May is when the administration is eyeing the possible lifting of indoor mask requirements. Also making headlines today after 2 weeks in deliberations, jurors in the Rudy Kanata trial came back with a guilty verdict. Kanata is guilty of murder in the brutal killing of former Umatic Mayor Daniel Sanchez last April. The jury, however, not able to reach a decision on the charges of aggravated assault and possession of a deadly weapon in the commission of a felony. The prosecutor did say that he intends to pursue those charges against Kanata in another trial. Kanata's girlfriend, Joyner Sked, had earlier been found guilty of murder for her part in the killing. Both Kanata and Sked will be sentenced at a later date. We'll have more news right after this.
Go green, go hybrid. Go to Nanbo Insurance, and your next power bill is on us. Insure your hybrid car at Nanbo and get up to $350 towards your next power bill. That's instant savings for keeping our island clean and green. Nanbo has been providing Guam with over 50 years of reliable and affordable auto insurance. At Nanbo, it pays to go green. Terms and conditions apply. Visit nanbo.com or call 477-9754 for details.
The results of an FBI test on DNA evidence had led to the investigators to arrest a suspect accused of rape. This case going all the way back to 2019. A 13-year-old girl reported to police back then that she had been raped by a man who pulled her into a jungle while she was walking to the store. 40-year-old Jesse James was charged with numerous counts of criminal sexual conduct, kidnapping, and terrorizing. He's now being held on $100,000 cash bail at the Department of Corrections. Meanwhile, police have confirmed that they have recovered an 81-year-old Maritza woman who was reported missing. The woman was last seen on Tuesday. She was reported yesterday and was taken to the hospital for observation after a member of the community called 911 after finding the woman about 6 o'clock yesterday evening. And Guam Visitors Bureau President Governor Carl Gutierrez on Thursday hurled a new round of accusations against his own agency's board, including allegations that their decisions involving the marketing budget for Taiwan were politically motivated. The Post reporting today the charges after the GVB board held a 2-hour executive session on Thursday with its legal counsel to discuss Gutierrez's first round of accusations against his board 2 weeks ago. Gutierrez previously accused board members of violating the open government law by meeting in private and for being unethical for voting on programs that benefit their businesses. It was yesterday that the board emerged from the executive session, which didn't include Gutierrez. Members voted to approve a motion for GVB travel to Japan, but a motion to approve a third-quarter marketing budget for Taiwan failed to muster enough votes. Gutierrez has now charged the vote as being politically motivated. And those are your top stories here on The Point. Here's Ray with your weather.
I want to go back to Taiwan. I want to go back.
like
You know,
Taiwan.
I was
They're
watching
pretty.
a video of a New Year's that they did, and are you familiar with the 101?
Yeah,
Yes.
I went there and kind of stayed in the middle of the building.
Right.
yeah,
It's
yeah.
absolutely fascinating. I've been to the top of 101. I've been at the observation deck and everything, and it was a real disappointment because it was raining in Taiwan that night, so you couldn't really see anything. But I saw this video. I think you can find it on YouTube, and it is a video of one of the New Year's. I think it's one of the last couple of New Year's that we had because everybody was wearing a mask, and they had something like 16,000 mortars that were placed over the course of a month on the 101, on all the different edges of the 101. So just the way this thing was blasting up into space, absolutely cool. And the thing is, Taiwanese, like the Japanese, like the Koreans, they've got this pent-up travel demand, and many of them many more about them know about Guam because last year Governor Gutierrez was really focused on getting influencers, getting bloggers, getting people like that out to Guam to see what's going on. And we got some decent press. We even had some businesses that said, maybe we might want to relocate some of our operations to Guam, just in case. So I don't know. There might be more, or maybe it's just that the guys on the board have other ideas on how to spend the money, and they just don't seem to be in agreement mode right now. 8:12 in the morning on the Ray Gibson Show. Very, very cool stuff. If you're looking for something to celebrate this weekend, are you ready? Things to celebrate today. Obviously, it's Good Friday. It is Husband Appreciation Day tomorrow.
Oh, wow.
Hey, now, I'll say it again for you. It's Husband Appreciation Day tomorrow.
I appreciate you.
That's so nice. World Semicolon Day. Isn't there a meaning when somebody has a semicolon tattoo? Isn't there some kind of meaning behind that? Tattoo Shauna knows.
Almost killed somebody.
Is it one of those things? Is this, I'm going to do this every time I go to the mall. I'm going to do
That's
this.
an incomplete. That's when you're doing a teardrop and then you kind of get, oh, this hurts.
I don't know. Right, just leave it. Just give me the period here at the end of it. Haiku Poetry Day, Baked Ham with Pineapple Day, Crawfish Day. Gumbo. I put a Guam and crawfish in the Google, and the only thing that came, Crab Daddy came up, and I have not eaten at Crab Daddy yet since they opened. And so looking for. Have you been there yet, Crab Daddy?
No, I've taken.
You did
done the
takeout with Crab Daddy, okay, and you're still here, so obviously you survived it.
Yeah, it
Real
was
Joe?
really good.
Anything
I've tried
Crab
it,
Daddy?
And
yeah,
Shirley's
I've tried
does
it
a
before.
crab boil too.
But does it have crawfish in it? Does it have those little bugs?
No, but you know who sells crawfish is Happy Mart.
Little bugs.
No way, really?
Yeah, they do. It's in the freezer section.
Really?
Yeah.
Crawfish.
Crawfish.
Do they have all the rest of this stuff to make gumbo?
I don't know.
Yeah, and-
I'm pretty sure.
And I don't actually want to make the gumbo. If
want
you're one
somebody
of
to
my
make it
friends
for you.
from the Gulf region, could you do me a favor and hit me up on a DM and invite me and Real Joe and Mana and Phil over to the house so we can have some gumbo. It is also Titanic Remembrance Day.
Never Let Go, Jack.
Not the movie.
Oh,
not
okay.
the actual Titanic. The actual ship that
The real
sank.
deal.
Yeah, the Titanic going. I became a fan of the movie, and I became a fan of all things Titanic. So I actually know a thing or two about the Titanic, or the terrible way that people died. Most people didn't drown; they froze to death. Real Joe, they froze to death in the water. Did you know that?
Hypothermia.
Yeah. But they say it's a good way to die. They say it's a good way to die.
It's a nice way to slip away.
Yeah, because you just kind of doze off and then die because you were just so it's just so cold. And I'm thinking I don't want to go like that. But at any rate, so you got that's the thing I have in the kitchen at the house, and I go through it every once in a while because I have this fantasy of putting together a dinner party for me and close friends and family to dine on the last meal of the Titanic.
Now the Last Supper.
They had, there was a place in Saipan at that little Fiesta Court that they've got there by the Nico. The one that's, oh my God, what a testimony to how bad things can get, how quickly things can get bad in Saipan. But there used to be a place that was on their menu. Is they would do that. They'd have a special night once a week or something like that where they did the last meal aboard the Titanic. And I've tried to get friends to do that with me, and they think, that might be the most morbid thing, the most unhappy event in our lives is to try to get together and eat the last thing. And there's I've got the recipe for all three services, right? Steerage and the regular passengers, and then, of course, the first-class passengers. I have all of the recipes for all of that. So if you ever want to do something like that, do me a favor. Buy all the ingredients and cook it, and then just call me, and we'll have the party. 8:15 in the morning. Supposed to be weather today. Yeah, I got it. It's mostly cloudy today. And tonight, daytime showers are expected, maybe some thunderstorms in the forecast as well, because we're still a little bit too close to that snotty weather that hasn't cleared the neighborhood yet. There's too much in front of it right now. Mostly cloudy in the forecast for tomorrow and tomorrow night. By Sunday, Easter Sunday, they say, is going to be mostly sunny with highs near 88 degrees. Fingers crossed that all of that happens. Looking for an excuse to party early. Sunset tonight is at 6:34, which means you need to be beachside on the western side of the island by no later than, I'd say, 3:30, just to be on the safe side. There it is, 8:16 on the Ray Gibson Show.
When one of my family members needs to be seen by a medical provider for an illness or injury that's not life-threatening but still requires immediate medical care, I go to the FHP Health Center Urgent Care. With convenient hours, no appointment needed, and medical providers I trust, I know my loved ones are receiving quality medical care. I trust the FHP Health Center Urgent Care. You can too. For more information, go to www.fhpguam.com. FHP Health Center, the island's only truly dedicated urgent care.
Is your business ready for digital transformation? The latest Wi-Fi technology is here, and it's Docomo Pacific's WorkPass, powered by Plume. WorkPass unlocks connectivity, productivity, and security tools all in the palm of your hand. Access features like adaptive Wi-Fi, guest and employee networks, evolving AI security, plus so much more. To learn more about WorkPass, visit business.docomopacific.com. Docomo Pacific Business. Work better together.
Tattoo Shauna has given me the details on what the semicolon tattoo means for some people. And it's beautiful. I'll tell you more in a second. 8:17 in the morning. You always tell you about going to see Lolita Kamet to make all your real estate dreams come true. To make them come true easy, then go see the guys over at Security Title. As soon as you're done, you figured out what it is that you want to buy or sell, then you get a hold of Ron and Kim over at Security Title, and they will begin a process that will include investigating the title on that particular property, even if you think you own it, or they think they own it. It's good to know for sure whose name is actually on the title to that particular piece of property. It'll take you all the way through escrow. In fact, usually when it's time to sign the papers with the bank, they're usually in the room when that happens. 8:18 on the Ray Gibson Show. More on the way.
Real Talk Radio is back. The Ray Gibson Show. Morning talk that matters. Call now. 888-TALK. That's 888-8255.
Yeah, life goes on. A lot of different meanings. Tattoo Shauna says the semicolon tattoo has many, mainly for mental health awareness and positive affirmation, as in your story does not end. I love that. I love it. There's so many people, something bad happens to them, and all of a sudden they just like, oh man, there's no way I can't see tomorrow. I can't see tomorrow. And you know what? It just wait. Just wait. Go to eastern side of the island, Pirates Cove, at dawn, just before dawn, and these days that'll be about 5:30, and find a way onto the beach area, which is cool. He lets people go and walk up and down the beach and catch sunrise over at Pirates Cove, and that in and of itself will fill you with hope, and you'll get hungry. But the good thing is there's a restaurant right over there. Jeff Pleadwell on the line from Pirates Cove here this morning. Are we going to get a political diatribe here of one kind or another, or an invitation to Easter brunch?
Well, maybe a little of everything today.
Why not?
It's Good Friday.
Yep.
So it was interesting, Ray, that the sun was rising over CCP golf course over there on Shimizu side. And it was beautiful this morning. But in the clouds where it actually is supposed to be rising, you could barely see it. So
a lot of backscatter on the pictures that I was looking at. Yeah, I see a whole lot of clouds in, but if you turn around, and there is a rule about sunsets on Guam. You never turn your back on a Guam sunset. And if you've got a sunset in front of you that you don't think is very, drama, then just turn around because you never know what the light show looks like behind you. Same thing over here. I've got it up. I've got it up on the screen right now so that everybody else can see what's going on. And you know why it's so beautiful there? Because in that area is where Colin Clark lives.
That's true, and that is Paul Shimizu country, and a lot of significance in that whole area.
Amen.
Okay, Ray, so can I talk?
Yeah, go ahead.
Okay, so I got an Easter buffet coming up, and starts here in the morning. For people coming to the buffet, there will be an Easter egg hunt for children under 12 years old. That'll be at 8:30 in the morning till 9:30. We're going to have discounts on the kids' tie-dye shirts that day and a lot of things in the gift shop. Food, we got whole parrot fish. We got our big jumbo fried shrimp. We got whole pig, cheddar cheese scrambled eggs, Angus roast beef. We got mimosas and champagne and Ambrose selections of Budweiser products on special.
Cool.
My delicious cold filtered water that everybody loves, and calamansi iced tea, and Crown Bakery, my favorite bakery, with fresh pies and pastries. And the cost is $55 for adults plus 10%, $20 for children plus 10%, and 3 hours from 10 till 1.
Ken Leon Guerrero wants to know what about the people in his age group who identify as 12 and under?
Well, we'll just have to make exceptions for everybody like him.
Yeah.
Well,
he wants to play.
Happy, right?
He wants to play in girls rugby as well. So he's got a whole new life lined up in front of him. I think that's going to be fun. You mentioned the gift shop. The last time I was there, I bought myself a Pirates Cove hat. I wanted to get a bucket hat, but I found instead another baseball cap, and I love it because it has pockets.
Yeah, I've heard those pocket ones are the most popular. I just got in like $4,000 worth of Stetson hats, and baseball hats from a company called Halo, and all kinds of real cool hats. And I think that day we're going to give 30% off in the gift shop. So those hats are expensive, especially now with the freight and you name it. I mean, it's crazy.
You had me at Mimosa, but now hat makes the man, and why not? How about a cool Stetson with the logo on it? Jeff, you have a happy Easter, my friend.
Okay, Ray, I just have a suggestion for GVB. I would like to see them clean up Tumon really nice, have everything that's facing the ocean nice and clean, force the property owners to get moving. Don't take years to get everything done. Make it look good. Don't even bother trying to bring the tourists back yet. Just wait. You know, like you said, this whole travel thing is going to be rough for the next 6 months. So in the meantime, go to these overlooks where the road drops like 4 inches and pave those, and put in some restrooms somewhere, and put in some safety signage. Do things for all these people that are renting the cars. That's the new tourist. I mean, I know GVB doesn't like me, Ray. It's okay. I can deal without them. I have complained about them because of their lack of everything. But I still have to survive. And I like the tourists like everybody else. But you got to make the South look good. You know, we all need the income down here. Things have to happen. Anyways, that's my little thing.
But there's some good mayors down there. I know many of them, and they're doing everything they can to spruce things up in your region. I agree with you on this point. I've been to Pirates Cove, where you can't get a seat because the place is just all Korean tourists, and it's all rent-a-cars in the front of the place. So you're right. It ain't tour buses like it was back in the olden days, and we got to do what Burton Pinko said we ought to be doing. There's all these spots on Guam, and if you just cut in a little bit into the Tangan and the Swordgrass a little bit, you've got an incredible vista, someplace for a car to pull over and people be taking pictures of romantic sunrises and sunsets all day long. 8:24, Jeff, happy Easter to you.
Can I just say one more thing to Lou and Josh?
Yes.
Let's make the priority growing food on Guam. Let's grow produce. Let's grow lettuce and tomatoes. Let's stop depending on the outside world. Let's take all that money and put people to work, and let the government employees work. But you need to privatize these industries to make them work efficiently. But, you know, if the ships don't come, where are we at? And now with all these shortages, where are we at? The other thing is the fishing industry. My God, Ray, I'm paying $4 to $6 a pound on the hoof for fish. Before we had fishing fleets here, there's fish all over the place. But the government here everybody is scared to work with them. You know why?
Why?
It never changes. It's the same old people running things that won't go forward. We have to quit these incumbents. We have to change things. The write-in is the way to go now. I mean, no baggage. You don't have to go around kissing bud and promising everything and all that. All these politicians, from the beginning, it starts out to what it ends up. Remember with Lou and the guy that when she was running against, all the fighting and all that stuff? That's what it ends up. Pit bulls. We don't need that. We need smart people to run us. We need that. Okay, Ray.
Can't disagree with you. Not on that point for sure. 888-8255-888-TALK. 8:25 in the morning. Short show today because this is a Good Friday. But some of the people that we do want to reach out to are actually available to us. For some people asking about the semicolon tattoo, Sarah has got some images. I don't think that these are on her, but there we go. There's how people are wearing their semicolon tattoos. Life goes on. There will be something better coming up down the road. 8:25 in the morning. Is Dave on the line? Line 2, right?
He is line 2, sir.
So, again, another reason to absolutely love how hard guys like the Vigilance Committee and Bob Klitsky are working to make sure that departments, agencies, commissions, and boards are putting their agendas in the newspaper so you can see what's happening. As an example, next week on the 22nd, the Guam Solid Waste Authority is going to be getting together. They've got a board meeting, and at the board meeting, as will take place in many board meetings, they will entertain guests. And one of the guests is going to be somebody that I hope will drop some science on these guys and put himself in a position to be able to contradict what I think might be incomplete information that has come from GSWA with regards to waste to energy here on Guam. Dave Sablon's on the line. Happy Easter to you, Dave.
Happy Easter, Ray. Actually, it's on the 21st.
Next 21st.
Week,
okay.
Thursday. Yeah. The meeting starts at 1:00 p.m. and it goes on until it ends. And somewhere after that time, I will be addressing the board. I've asked whether it's going to be an in-person, which I would prefer, so that I can see the board members face to face and explain to them and answer their questions. But I'm perfectly capable of meeting them as well on Zoom or MS Teams, whichever system they have. I can certainly get on and talk to them as well. So I'm waiting for that response on whether it will be an in-person meeting. But I encourage people, if they can, to listen in on this thing so that they can at least be educated with the facts and the truth about waste to energy. And it's something that should be part of the integrated solid waste management plan. In addition to landfilling, composting, which I believe the Solid Waste Authority is pushing as well, and incineration, and incineration with the production of power, electricity, I think makes a lot of sense, and it reduces actually the total cost overall for everybody.
I believe that it is a viable part of our solid waste system, and I like the idea that it's waste to energy. We actually get something out of calories that are sitting idle in all of the trash that we are accumulating at great cost here on Guam. We should be able to burn that and use that to offset. And it's funny. I don't know how much of a sliding scale upwards we need to see, but the higher the price of oil goes, the more attractive waste to energy gets. And I don't know if anybody is seeing it while we're talking about oil at $105 a gallon.
Yes, absolutely. And the other thing too, Ray, waste to energy is green energy. It's on the same level as solar and wind power, which I know the solar part, Guam Power Authority is working on that, and I think it's putting in at least 40 megawatts of solar power with batteries, which I absolutely support. In addition to that, waste to energy adds to that. And based on the total tonnage of waste that we produce, solid waste that we produce on this island, which is close to 600 tons a day, even though the receiver was only recording about 300 tons a day when they were managing the Luzon landfill. But notwithstanding, I think a lot of it ends up in the boondocks. And if we can just convince people and market to them that now we have an incinerator that produces electricity that will help reduce the cost of electricity to you when the power is sold to the Guam Power Authority, support it and bring your trash to this place, and hopefully the tipping fee, the cost to take care of that trash for you, will be somewhere more reasonable than what it is now for households and commercial operators. Collect trash from the restaurants and the supermarkets and the commercial operations.
Wait a second. Hold on. What tipping fee are you talking about? I think we start looking at trash as fuel and a cheap fuel, a much cheaper fuel for the energy conversion. It seems to me one of those things we want all the trash we can get, so we'll pick it up from your place for absolutely nothing.
That's correct. In fact, as the price of oil goes up, it's quite probable that we may pay to actually get the solid waste over to the incinerator plant so that we can produce the electricity and turn around and sell it to GPA at a price that certainly will be less than what it costs for them to buy or to produce electricity using fuel oil. But notwithstanding, it would be something less than that at the avoided cost, but it still would be quite profitable for an operation. And it may end up, and we have actually a graph that shows as the years go on, and we started this back in I think 2010 when we produced this graph. At some point, 10 years into the future, we'll actually be buying the solid waste for the fuel. Because it makes a lot more sense to sell the electricity.
Well, I'm sure that's happening even faster. Tapis crude trading today at $108.13. If you're buying West Texas, that's $106.95. I'll round that up to $107. This is not a good weekend for people whose lives depend on what's happening with the price of fuels all across the country. Just saying, buddy. Just saying. So the important information that is going to be coming out here. You need to impress these people with numbers. And it's not just the numbers of tonnage. Even that number is going to be going up here. We got the Camp Bloss, which is going to be signing on before too much longer. And it seems to me we've got additional resources that are making their way to Guam on a seemingly monthly basis. Plus, the tourism business is going to be kicking back in, albeit slowly. Tumon will be generating more waste that can be sent over to the plant. So I think
we have all those numbers already figured out, Ray. When we started looking at this, we knew that the Marines were going to be here. I think 5,000 plus all of their families and supportive personnel. We're probably looking closer to about 20,000 people that actually will be on island supporting that base, including the Marines. And so we figured all of that in terms of how many tons of solid waste will be produced on a daily basis throughout the year. We also have a revised contract during the Calvo administration. Governor Eddie Calvo wanted some changes to the contract that was signed in '96 by acting Governor Madeline Bordallo at that time during the Gutierrez administration. But he wanted some changes to be made, so we went into mediation, court-ordered, to fix this contract based on what the Supreme Court of Guam basically came down, saying that there was a provision in there that was illegal. You should remove it, and when you remove it, you'll have a solid contract then to move forward. And so Governor Calvo, Eddie Calvo at the time, we got into mediation. In a few months, we came up with a revised contract, and I'm just waiting now for Governor Lulian Guerrero to sign off on it, and then this project begins. And it will be
don't hold your breath, bro.
Well, I'm a patient guy. Patience
clearly
is a virtue, right?
Yep. Hey,
so
Dave. I just want to get some nuts and bolts on the get together, and note here from Dave Duenas, unrelated to waste energy. Tell those guys to answer their phones at GSWA.
Oh,
yeah. Apparently, Dave Duenas is having a hard time getting through to him. But if you're going to be with them next week, remind them to have somebody answer the phone on a regular basis. I got to run. I'll talk to you pretty soon. Happy Easter.
Happy Easter, Ray. You take care.
I will, amigo. It's 8:33 in the morning, and I hate to shovel him along. Got a couple other people on the phone, and some videos that I want to play with you, including this one here is Clint Rigel. And he raises his voice over at the legislature yesterday to point out just how absurd the fact that they were even there on Holy Thursday listening to the testimony and amendments in Resolution 291. So we're going to get that on the air in a couple of minutes. Mona Silva-Tyron's got her last big look or lick book coming up next with news and headlines. Stay right there.
Are you looking for a new place to hang out with your friends? Let's go along the sidelines at Sidelines Bar and Grill. Located at 154 Iriarty Road, Unit 4 and 5 in Tamuning behind Royal Bigs. Sidelines, a hidden gem with nothing but great things to offer. Great atmosphere, great food, top shelf drinks, and a great team. What are we waiting for? Let the fun begin at Sidelines Bar and Grill. Open daily from 3 p.m. to 2 a.m. See you there.
Half a day, this is Honey. Here at APL, our expertise and extensive network can help you grow your business and reach out to more global markets. As a responsible carrier, APL is also committed to a sustainable future, whether it's protecting the environment or investing our efforts in giving back to the community. Our dedicated teams in Guam, Saipan, and on U.S. mainland are here to support you. Call 588-4651 or visit apl.com.
8:35 in the morning, Ray Gibson Show. Ken LG is coming up next. Ken, no more. You're only allowed to talk about whatever it is, but that's not waste energy, because I don't want to do 10 minutes on you rebutting what Dave said, okay? So just FYI. Montesilva Tyron, now with that last big look at news and headlines. Hoffa, what happened there?
Well, if you were holding out hope that the public health emergency would end, well, the legislative resolution failed yesterday after a vote down party lines. The administration has been opposed to the canceling of the public health emergency, saying that it would jeopardize millions of dollars. The governor's office also chimed in following the action, saying that acting Governor Josh Tenorio saying that the action allows a continuation of these programs and assistance to Guam families. Meanwhile, after 2 weeks of deliberations, jurors came back with a guilty verdict in the Rudy Kanata trial. Kanata charged with murder after killing former Umatic Mayor Daniel Sanchez a year ago. The jury was not able to reach a decision on a couple of other charges, but Lenny Rapata says that he will go back to court and pursue those charges. Kanata's girlfriend, Joyner Sked, also convicted in connection with that killing. Both of them are scheduled to be sentenced later on. And those are your top stories here on The Point.
See that 8:36 in the morning on the Ray Gibson Show. Do I need to take a break, or can I go right to Ken?
You can go to Ken.
I can go right to Ken.
Yeah.
I got to ask Real Joe.
You can do, yes.
Producer of the show, Mr. Producer.
Yeah, when I called in, I had no idea that Dave was calling in.
Okay, good. I don't want to do an hour on waste energy. Okay, good. I mean, I think both of us can agree. You know, depending on where the numbers are, this might make sense for the solid waste system that we've got here on Guam, as opposed to building hundreds of millions of dollars worth of cells every 20 years. Know what I mean?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah,
all right. So having said that,
I'll just save my conversation for the board. But the reason I called in is because, as you know, I did my State of the Island address, and it's been successful in one sense, that it's causing people to think. And it's really been hurting me on my petition drive, because the people that I approach trying to get signatures, they want to spend an hour and a half talking about the different points I raised. So what I'm doing is I'm having a Zoom call tomorrow at 6 o'clock, and where people can call in and we can talk about those points that were raised, and I can share it with large groups of people instead of a one-on-one basis, because one-on-one basis hasn't been working for me.
Wow. So what you're saying is you're going to use technology to help amplify your voice and to add reach, so that you can get to more people. This is amazing. I wish I'd have thought of that.
Well, the other thing that I was calling in is because we're talking about
the information on the Zoom for people that want to tune in 6 o'clock tomorrow morning will be available on Candid, correct? Or on KenLeonGuerrero.online.
Yeah, KenLeonGuerrero.online, or my Facebook page, Ken Leon Guerrero for Senator. There's links there as well, and so I'll be just having coffee with people, and we'll talk about these points. But the reason I sent you that
will you be wearing pants?
Yes.
Okay, so this will not be a Tyrone Zoom.
No, okay. I'll be wearing pants, and I'll try as best as possible to keep the cat off the desk.
Good luck, buddy.
No guarantees on that.
All right, now you sent me
a very assertive cat.
In addition to all that groovy information, you also sent me this picture that I'm going to put on the screen right now. Is this legal? Does the post office and customs know that you're bringing this in?
Yes, they do. You have to fill out those custom forms. But the point is that our health and care emergency has so destroyed small businesses that it is cheaper for me to get sodas from the mainland than it is to get them here.
Sodas?
Yeah, that's a Zevia.
Zevia caffeine-free variety. I don't know what Zevia is. I'm a Michelob Ultra guy.
Well, it's a sugar-free, keto-friendly, obviously, soda. And do
they sell this here? I mean, can I find this at Payless? And how much more expensive is it?
Sell out of it so fast.
So not only is it cheaper, you fight the apparent demand for it by buying offline or online.
Yeah. And you see, that's where this whole pandemic healthcare emergency is destroying all of our businesses, not just the small businesses, but the larger businesses as well. Because as people, with this inflation, I mean, right now, my buy has dropped dramatically. And when my buy has dropped, it hits small retailers and large retailers alike. Because when you have 30, 40, 50,000 households starting to pull back on what they spend, the businesses have to adjust demand with their cash flow. So they pull back on what they order. So it creates a self-fulfilling shortage. And as things get shorter, then hoarding takes place. More product flies out of the store. So we're facing a very serious problem here. And a large part of it is driven by this fraud of a public health care emergency.
Well, based on what happened at the legislature yesterday, Ken, Lou Leon Guerrero, for better or for worse, has been in complete control, will be in complete control, and might as well be Justin Trudeau out in Canada. For all intents and purposes, she is going to be in the driver's seat. She will determine when the public health emergency will end. The legislature is impotent to be able to exert any authority, any power into that arena.
Well, they've just proven that they don't represent the people of Guam. They represent Adelup. We didn't elect them to represent Adelup.
I'm not hearing anybody, the usual suspects, the me's and the you's and whoever else are complaining about it, but I don't hear the rank and file. Everybody else is happy with the handouts. And a reminder, today's the last day that you can apply for your measly $300 program in Salapi.
Yeah, I think that there's an undercurrent, because when I'm talking to people, I don't get the same rah-rah Adeloops that Adelup seems to think they're getting as a result of this. These handouts are actually rubbing it in people's faces, because people realize that all they're getting for $300 is 4 tanks of gas. They're not getting a job. They're not getting, if we'd taken that money and put it into a mass transit system, they would be getting free rides to work for life. But they're not getting that. They're getting 4 tanks of gas where they can't go anywhere, can't do anything of significance.
Wait, who's going to give away free rides on the public transit? I'm not doing that. I want to charge just enough so that they can maintain the fleet and pay drivers and get insurance and all of the cool things that come along with that. I think that the idea that they should do it for free or near free is ridiculous. But that's just me. I got to go 8:42 in the morning, so 6 o'clock tomorrow morning. For details, go to kenleonguerrero.online.
Yes, or my Facebook page, Ken Leon Guerrero for Senator.
Gotcha. I'll talk to you soon, buddy. Have a great Easter weekend. What's a keto? How disappointing is a keto weekend for Easter, right? What do we got? No bread for my. You know what? See, I can't do keto. I can't do keto, and I'll tell you for a couple of reasons. I'm keto curious, which is, I think, a phrase that Real Joe taught me. But the problem is, and I'm okay with a high protein diet. I like boiled eggs. We talked about this the other day. I'm a fan of bacon. I'm a fan of pork chops. I'm a fan of ribs. Just whatever steaks. I'll eat a steak every once in a while. Not often. Not big on steaks. I prefer to take my beef in form of a hamburger from a variety of hamburger vendors here on Guam. But I like pizzas too much. And I know that they've got a pizza workaround with, what is it? You make the crust out of cauliflower or something like that?
Yeah. I don't know about that, bro.
No, I don't know about that either. There's got to be, can you get the appropriate tostos? I mean, I'll eat it every once in a while. Somebody put it in for you. You got to try this. Okay, I'll try it. And okay, that'll make a turd. But it's a standard. It's a standard, right? But is this something I'm going to go out of my way for? Is this something that I will make myself Do they have it? Can I get it at CPK? Actually, I think there is a more keto-friendly one that they've got at one of the restaurants. I can't remember. But anyway, so here we are, guys. Oh, I was going to tell you. One of the reason number 2 I can't go keto, KFC red rice, Jamaican Grill red rice.
Yeah.
That's it. You know, one or the other, you get it, and I'm sitting there going, okay, I want to eat fried chicken. So I get my hands on some fried chicken or, you know, whatever, and I'm eating that, and I'm looking at the red rice, and the red rice is looking at me saying, eat me, eat me. And you just can't. You know, it's like throwing money away. It came with the deal. So that's my problem. My other problem is, I've got to say, just how a number of levels of annoyance over at the legislature. Resolution 291 comes out. And I think I'm mostly disappointed because I kind of had my hopes up. I knew to manage my expectations. But I thought it was going to be interesting to get all of the players at the legislature and a whole bunch of senators asking hard questions. And some of the stuff that I saw weren't actually hard questions. I thought they were dumb questions. But the guys were there, and they delivered their responses. You know, whether you liked them or not, you get what you get. I just kind of, annoyed because you got the governor saying one thing, but none of them were able to back up what the governor's claims were outside of what had already been published by the governor in a letter back to Jimmy Moylan. So I didn't know where that was going to go, and then all of a sudden we begin to acquiesce on this, and instead of standing on the rock and saying, no, it's got to end now, thanks very much, you gave us testimony, but it's still not enough. I think they were now looking for a compromise, some political way to maneuver out of all of this, and once that happened, once they had the compromise, once they said, oh, okay, in June we'll lift the public health emergency. Now, first of all, that's not what you came for. That's not what we were shopping for today. And second of all, once you did that, it gave senators an opportunity to say, well, what are we doing here now? What emergency, ladies and gentlemen? If it was an emergency, which is what our side is saying that. If it's an emergency, you know, where's all the bodies piling up? Where's all the, mounds of surge numbers that we see? And so the guy... and I'm going to give him credit for basically pointing out what eventually turned into the lunacy. But I've also got this for entertainment purposes because I think between him and Tello's hissy, I just thought it was that much more entertaining. So by way of closing out the show at 8:46, allow me to play a couple of videos from yesterday's session. So was it a special session? Let's find out together.
We are here in an emergency special session. This is not even the regular session. And
point
of
information, Madam Speaker. We're not in an emergency session.
Fine. We're in a special session. This is not a regular session.
Madam Speaker, point of order.
Yes. Order, please. The Senator Rajal has the floor.
But please correct him, Madam Speaker. We're not in a special session.
Do you have a point of order or?
We are not in a regularly scheduled session.
Wait.
The session is regularly scheduled session is scheduled for next week. So we were brought in here under the guise of this is so important we need to deal with it now. It cannot wait until the next session. We're here on Holy Week, and now I'm yelling on Holy Week because we're here debating this. There's been touted as such a great emergency. We got to end this emergency now.
Madam Speaker,
Madam Speaker, I have the floor, Madam Speaker.
Can you please correct him, Madam Speaker?
Senator,
we are not in special.
You can raise your point of information after the senators finish speaking.
No, what is your point of information?
Point of information.
Hey, can we have order here, please? I will recognize.
Get it, girl.
I apologize, Madam Speaker.
Order,
she's interrupting me.
Senator Rajal, I understand. You have the floor.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. We are not in a regularly scheduled session. Session is scheduled for the end of the month, as it usually is in the final week. We were brought in here to vote on this because it was touted as if this emergency has to end immediately. We have to end these draconian measures immediately. And now they're proffering an amendment that says June 2nd, 2022?
Point of order.
So why don't we come back on June or come back in the end of May and then vote on this?
Senator Rajal, there's been a point of order.
Why are we voting on this now?
There's been a point of order. Please state your point of order.
My point of order, Madam Speaker, is there has to be a correction in as far as the presentation by the current speaker. This is not a special session. I wish the chair would go
Senator
ahead.
Joe,
I
you have
withdrew
the
the
floor.
statement that it's a special session. I corrected myself. I said this is not a regularly scheduled session. This is not part of our regular schedule of sessions. Session is scheduled at the end of every month. In fact, do we not? We have session next week, don't we? We begin our regularly scheduled session next week. So we're being brought in early during Holy Week. No one here wanted to be here during Holy Week. That was one of the things that was discussed, that no one wanted to be here during Holy Week. But it was touted as such an emergency that we must end this emergency now.
Wait, and that's the one of the parts that I'm waiting, going, whoa, we talked about this amongst ourselves, and we're not working on Holy Week? Joe, did I work on Monday? Did you and I and Mona work Monday?
I believe so.
Tuesday?
Yes.
Wednesday?
Yes.
Holy Thursday?
Amen, brother.
Where are we on Good Friday?
We're
We're right here, working, doing our jobs. And what is this line? We talked about this. None of us wanted to be here on Holy Week.
It was so important to end this emergency now. But now they're saying, wait, let's end it on June 2nd. So why are we here voting now? Let's vote in May. We can vote in May and end it on June 2nd. Actually, I'd go back to the original argument, which is we can't put a date on it anyway. So why are we voting on this now? Madam Speaker, I think you should adjourn and we come back and vote on this in the end of May, since they want it on June 2nd.
Motion. Make motion.
Where's the rush to be here?
Make your motion.
Well, first I'm objecting to this amendment. And if I can add a motion on top of that, I motion that we adjourn and take this up at the proper time, because the authors of this resolution themselves has said we don't need to do this till June 2nd.
There's been a motion to adjourn. Is there any objection?
Objection.
There's an objection. All in favor of adjourning, please raise your hand.
Virtually all of the Democrats are raising their hands.
Motion fails.
And that's it. Now that's it from Clint. And normally I would have just said, well, it was pretty interesting. How much fun is this? Okay, I didn't want to work on Holy Weekend. Let's all take spring break off from now on. Nothing happens. Everybody just stay where you are. And I thought, well, maybe I'm going to stick with this a little bit longer. And then it got to be time for Tello to make a few statements.
For the previous speaker, retracting what he mentioned about a special session, I'm sure if he was paying attention, he would have known that we are still in our regular scheduled session for
Point of personal privilege,
April
Madam
or
Speaker.
May.
I was paying attention.
So-
I misspoke.
Okay.
Thank you, Senator.
And if
Please
he was
proceed.
paying attention, then he'll realize that, Madam Speaker, that this amendment
Point
was
of
to
personal
adjust
privilege,
it
Madam
to
Speaker. I
June,
was paying attention. I simply
Senator
misspoke.
Tachigui, please pause.
Sure.
Please state your point of personal privilege.
Sure.
That's a mischaracterization. I have been paying attention. I misspoke.
Thank you, Senator. Senator Tachigui,
So
please refrain from impugning the character of any member.
Absolutely, Madam Speaker. And it was mentioned in this hall today, not yesterday, but today, that we are adjusting this to try and meet the requirement for the SNAP program. So we're allowed to give about a 30-day notice to continue the SNAP program. So why? Why are we changing it from May to June? So that we can avail ourselves of additional federal funding, supplemental funding for SNAP. That's why. Do we want to be here during Holy Week to discuss this? I'm sure everybody who's working right now during this whole week wish that they weren't working during Holy Week.
Ding,
but
ding,
we
ding.
work for the people of Guam.
She's got it in the
We
bag.
answer to the people of Guam. And there are tons of people who've emailed us at rallies and events to talk about ending this emergency session. Even our director of public health, even he said that considering the situation we're in and the numbers that are going down, things are a lot better. And think about all the booster shots, the vaccines, as well as the treatment that's provided for COVID is within our grasp, to the point we're actually sending some of that medication off to another district, another region. We're sending medication for our people off to another region because we don't need it.
Good. And I'm going to let that lie right there as we get towards the end of the program here today. That's where it was over at the legislature, and it went. I didn't watch the part where they went into the final arguments and motions, and because that was an amendment on an amendment on an amendment, and I can't keep that crap straight in my head. So I kind of lose my place in all of this. But at the end of this all, the resolution went in for a vote, and it failed on party lines. Let me see, Joe S. Was not there. Mary Torres was not there, but all of the Democrats voted all the same. All the Republicans voted on all the same, and then it will go down as the failure of 291. And that comes from the acting governor of Guam, and naturally between the governor's office, the Democrat Party of Guam, and the nerd progressive Democratic Party of Guam, they all decided that this is a good time to put out a press release, and they no doubt are planning the scheduling out now when they're going to have their victory cha-cha slide party. Don't know. Do we do it now? Do we wait till the governor comes back? Is this a mask event? Are we going to do this indoors? Who's going to be the DJ? Which version of the cha-cha slide are we going to be doing? All of those are in planning session and planning mode right about now. 8:54 in the morning in the Ray Gibson Show. Before we sign off for the day, I'm going short today, is because I'm being Good Friday. I got to go and climb Mumuzung Mangalo. No, I'm not doing that. What is it? I do want to tell you about getting yourself into a brand new ride over at NissanGuam.com on the World Wide Web. Great place to go. You can hit that website anywhere, anytime you want to, 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. And why would you want to? Well, you take a look at all the incredible inventory that they have, and for sure, make a comparison and a contrast between what I got to consider to be one of the best values for your automobile dollar. You think about all of the things that come with this, all of the standard features that they've got on the Sentras versus all of the other manufacturers that go, yeah, we got it, but you got to pay extra for it. Why would you want to do something like that? $22,900? Get you easy fill tire alerts, rear automatic braking, intelligent key doors, push button starts, incredible, like in first class on airplane legroom that you will find in this price. A great interior, a lot of technology, so and not a whole lot by way of price. Now, you know they're going to give you a deal on top of this, right? Somehow or another. I don't know what those deals are. Find out. Test drive that new Nissan Sentra today.
JV International Safety Equipment has it all for you. Fall protection, rain gear, traffic signs, speed bumps, custom signs and banners, PPEs, fire extinguishers, plus more. Check them out on Facebook at JV International Safety Equipment Company or visit their website, www.jvisec.com. JV International Safety Equipment, Guam's leader in occupational and environmental safety equipment. Call 688-9524. JV International Safety Equipment, located in Harmon Industrial Park.
The Federal Reserve is starting to increase interest rates to fight inflation, but they're still so low, making it the perfect time to refinance your home, to lower your rate, and perhaps take advantage of its increased value to put some cash in your pocket during these uncertain times. Cash that you can have the freedom to access when you want, where you want, with your Bank Pacific Visa debit card. Lower your rate with cash in your pocket. Access your cash when you want, where you want, with your Visa debit card. For those put branches, we place roots, and we're rooting for you. Equal housing lender, credit conditions apply.
Portions of the program brought to you by Peter. Chef Peter and the team over at Mescla, what have they got for you? Well, it's Lent, so they're going nuts over their ability to make all kinds of great Lenten meals, including fish tacos. I mean, that's easy, right? You'd start with that, right? We go in alphabetical order. Yeah, we'll try the fish tacos thing. But they got so much more. You got fish tacos. They've got this parrotfish, but they escabeche it. You want something with lobster? They've got the lobster pad caproa and plenty more. Make your reservations and go and enjoy. Ooh, I wonder what they're doing for Easter. Find out. Call Mescla today. I did the equivalent of Montesilva Tyron closing her computer just before the last newscast, and here I am now with just a couple of minutes to go, wondering how the heck I'm going to fill it. And the answer is, I don't know. I'm getting a note from my hiking buddy. Says, man, you should have come with us to Rhoda. Be crazy going nuts up there. But here's the thing: is my liver couldn't take going up to Easter weekend with you guys up in Rhoda. My guess is the hiking is going to be just a very, very small part of that. But we're closing in on 9 o'clock. I want to give you good news. The requirement for 6-foot social distancing. Individuals will be permitted to congregate indoors and outdoors without restrictions. Individuals shall not be required to wear masks in outdoor settings. This notice came from the courthouse. on Friday in anticipation now of the governor on Tuesday lifting the outdoor mask wearing and congregation limits. They have already made the instructions to their team over at the court that they won't need to wear masks outside. We can get together in huge, what do they call it when you've got a number of lawyers together in the same place? There's a name for that.
Bottom dwellers.
A nuisance. There's, it's a tribe. It's
a gaggle.
Yeah, a gaggle. No. Anyway, so they've got something like that going on. So that's what they're going to name it. Other mitigation measures remain in effect, including mask wearing requirement for individuals entering the judiciary of Guam facilities. So they've made their decision, sent out the press release. Can we say that's premature? Or do they know something that we know? Actually, they can do whatever they want to. They can, because they are the third branch of government, and nobody can tell them what to do unless you're dangling money over their head, and then they'll pretty much do anything for it. It's 9 o'clock in the morning. The radio station's KUSG. I got you 93.3. The Point. My name is Ray Gibson. For real, Joe Cruz, Montesilva, Tyron, Jerry Roberts. I want to say thank you so much for a great Holy Week worth of broadcast. I want you to have a great and safe Easter weekend. Remember, it is Good Friday, and frankly, I think I've made enough noise for all of us. So get the praying time in, get the family time in, and let's return Easter to what it was pre-pandemic. It's time. It's 9. Here's the news.
Sarah, Fox News. One of the men accused of killing Western hostages, including American journalist James Foley, and recording the beheadings nearly a decade ago, facing a jury in Virginia.
A federal jury in Virginia has convicted a British national for his role in beheading Americans taken hostage in Syria nearly a decade ago. Al-Shafi al-Sheikh was one of the ISIS members in a group nicknamed the Beatles because of their accents. The jury convicted al-Sheikh after hearing testimony from surviving hostages. The convictions on 8 counts revolved around the deaths of 4 Americans. 3 were beheaded and were among more than 24 hostages believed to have been taken captive between 2012 and 2015. In Washington, Jared Halpern, Fox News.
Ukraine is claiming it sank a key Russian warship in a missile attack. Pentagon spokesman John Kirby said the Pentagon can't confirm it.
We certainly recognize that the ship suffered a blow, an explosion, which led to a significant fire on board, and that it caused them to evacuate some of their sailors, if not all of their sailors.
Russia claims there was a fire on board and the ship sank while it was being towed. Billionaire investor Elon Musk has gone from Twitter critic to its biggest shareholder to potentially its new owner. He's offered to buy the company for $43 billion. At the TED 2022 conference, he talked about Twitter's policy on banning users.
We want to be just very reluctant to delete things and have